Da-da-dee-da-doom. It is almost... it is 7. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. We are... Let me just make sure that all of the various pieces of technology are in order, because I got several cameras going, and I've also got a wireless microphone, which is a first for me. I'm used to wired microphones. The wireless mic is a very new addition. I may have a phone call. Hold on. What? Sorry, I just had to... Oh, well, that's not good. I'm backwards and fuzzy. Sorry, folks. Let me just give me 1 second to sort that out. I got a phone call, and my phone camera got all reversed. 1 second. Let me just fix that real quick, because everything was perfect a second ago. And then I got a phone call that I needed to take from a coworker. Am I still backwards? I am still indeed backwards. I'm not sure if I like it, but we'll roll with it. I'm pretty okay. Hey, Inferno, how you doing? Nice to see you. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and jump into explaining what we are doing today. Let me go over to my little rest. Sorry about that. When I went to change my, when I went to answer the phone, everything got a little futzed up. But I think we are back on track. Can I just get a confirm from the chat that my sound is now working? That would be great. Waiting for confirmation. Waiting for confirmation, and then I will. There we go. Awesome. Good. Anyhow, let me jump into explaining what we're doing today. Today we are making Stromboli from scratch. You may wonder, what is a Stromboli? It's kind of sort of like a calzone, but not as good. See, calzones typically have the sauce on the inside, which means they get all soggy and gross. Stromboli, you actually cut lengthwise and you dip it into the sauce, which in my mind is a better system. I like them better, and that's what we're making today. We're also going to be making a homemade marinara sauce, which I'm really looking forward to. And we're also going to be making homemade breadsticks, which we're going to try to get them as close to Olive Garden as possible. If we can make like those picture perfect like Olive Garden breadsticks, I'll be so happy. Let me check out the chat. Awesome. Everything technologically is working. Good. Well, anyway, let's jump into this. All right, let us start. While I gather the first ingredients, let's watch my channel intro. Ta-da! I like it. It put way too much effort into it, but yeah. Any recommendations, critiques, anything you want in the comments after the video or whatever, feel free to let me know. So let me get my recipe back up here, and we will get started. So we are actually going to start making the dough for the breadsticks because that takes a while. The dough needs to rise, so we start that early on, so later on we can cook it. We're going to be all over the place. Since we're making 3 different things tonight, we're going to be jumping between recipes quite a bit. So first ingredient that we need is stuff and things. Okay, first we need to heat some water because that's important. We are doing an active yeast dough, which means that the water needs to be slightly warm so that the yeast can consume sugar and start to grow, multiply, and produce a lot of gas, which is what makes the dough nice and puffy. That's what makes it rise. So hopefully I can get this water heated quickly while I am doing that. Let's try out my mixer view. All right, sweet, it works, neat. So while the water is heating up, let me go ahead and grab some other ingredients. So starting with the yeast and the sugar, let me just make sure I got my amounts right. I tried to measure out some stuff ahead of time just to make my life a little easier, but then I didn't mark anything. I've just got a bunch of bowls just strewn all over around my kitchen. So if I stop and start to try to compare like 2 bowls, it's because I'm not 100% sure which one is which. Not the greatest system, I know, but it is fine. Okay. So this is for the breadsticks. 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then not that much yeast. So it is this other one. Okay. So I grab my little bowl of sugar, my little bowl of yeast, and I toss them in the bowl of my stand mixer. I've got a dough hook affixed so that I can knead dough very effectively. And then, okay. All right, I also need to melt some butter. Let's go ahead and do that really fast. That way we can throw some melted butter into there as well. And then, although I have a feeling that the butter is going to blow up in my microwave. I'll probably have to clean that up later, but that is fine. And then, Okay, that is everything. Let's just chill and wait around for the butter and the water to get all nice and hot. Butter to melt, water to not boil. I don't want it to boil because the thing is, yeast enjoys there's like a Goldilocks zone for yeast. Too hot, yeast die. Too cold, yeast don't actually grow. So you want to get around, I believe the recipe called for I think it was 110-ish degrees. So I just need to throw it on the stove for a little bit, get it somewhat lukewarm, and then the magic will happen, chemical reactions and all that jazz, and we'll get to watch it together. I have some experience making yeasted doughs before. I've done it 2 or 3 times before, so we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of confidence, though, and that's like 90% of being a good chef is just being confident. All right, melted butter into the mixer. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Also, the butter will help raise the overall temperature of the mixture, which will allow the yeast to grow. Now I'll just put my empty dish here, and then, okay, the water is getting there. Cool, cool, cool. All right, how you guys doing in the chat? Everything good with y'all? Sorry if things seemed a little in the beginning of the stream. This is actually the first time that I've put all of the technology together for all of this stuff all together at once, because I just very recently got a bunch of cables off Amazon, so I've actually been waiting to set this all up. So I spent most of today just getting all of this assembled. We've got my my phone camera, which is wirelessly attached to my computer, which is really, really cool. We're good. Cool. I'm glad to hear it, Inferno. But yeah, so got multiple camera angles, which is fancy, I know. Okay. All right, that water is warm enough. Good, good, good. Let me grab a measuring cup so that we can add 1 cup of warm water to the mixer. I'm going to kind of fudge it a little bit. Also, let's just shift back to that. I'm going to fudge it a little bit because it doesn't usually need to be all that exact. Depending on what you're doing. If you're baking, then you typically need to be exact because it's more chemistry than anything else. When you're doing something like this, it's not really all that important. Although, why is... Oh, that's no good. Oh, I just noticed that this camera is a still image. I am not happy with that. Let me troubleshoot that really fast, just so we can fix this, because that is annoying. Let me see if that got that working. It did not. Oh man. See, the reason that I'm confused is it wasn't a still image earlier. It was working. And at some point, it decided not to work. That's confusing. What time is it for me? Right now, it is 7:10, because I start streaming at 7 and then stream until, well, when I'm cooking, I stream until either 10 or 11. It really depends. I try to shoot for 10, but with cooking, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes there's a little bit of a funny little delay. It's like, okay, I actually need to chop an extra thing because I messed up this. So it's like there's a little bit of uncertainty baked into the time. I'm just going to switch back to the stove one more time. Darn it. Okay. Maybe if I deactivate and reactivate the... whatever. You know what? It's fine. We don't need that source. We're just fine with what we have. We'll manage with what we have. Okay. Cool. Freak out time. Yeah, no joke. I spent a lot of time getting all this together, and the moment I hit start, it stopped working, but that's fine. A little bit of adversity will make for a better stream, make for some better content. All right. Attach dough hook and begin to gradually add the flour at low speed. Good. So we're going to start to mix. Let me lock my mixer. Get my mixer going slow. Unfortunately, the view isn't as nice as I wanted because I had a nice little mixer cam set up. I'll see if I can troubleshoot that later on. But for now, let's just work with what we have and get some dough going. So, first things first, let's get the salt in there, and then we will add the flour. And then that is bread flour, which I have here. And then let me grab my salt, which is right here, and we will get going. I don't really measure with salt. I usually just kind of throw some in. It usually works out. Also, I'm pretty sure I use salted butter, so it all kind of evens out anyway. If you're wondering, the reason that they say put non-salted butter in things is because there's actually a surprising amount of salt in salted butter. Like, it's actually a lot. If you look at the amounts, it's kind of crazy. Okay, and then I'm just going to slowly feed this in. Let me grab myself a little bit of a spoon, and then we will slowly feed it in. Since I don't have the nice camera view, I will have to turn a little bit so that I can at least show you guys it going in. Let's see, is that the slowest that I can do that? Yeah. Okay. Before we do the next dough, I'll make sure that I'll get the camera working, I promise. I will try my best to get that working, because it's kind of cool. You watch everything kind of spin, and then a dough pops out of nowhere. It's kind of magical. All right. Continuing to feed in the flour. I'm not going to really reference any amounts. I'll probably only say amounts if I'm actually actively measuring something, and if it's an ingredient that I've already pre-measured, I'll probably just say like a smacking, no, not smacking, that doesn't make any sense. A smattering of flour or whatever, because I posted all the recipes for this in the description. So if all of you want to either follow along in the future or possibly make it yourself, you totally can. Also, this isn't like the coma cake. I actually encourage you guys to... I'm just getting all sorts of text messages and calls right now. It's crazy. But yeah, no, I thoroughly encourage you guys to try this recipe because it's a great one. I've made it several times. I've only tried the dough once, but with store-bought dough, I've done the actual Stromboli recipe several times, and it always turns out really good. So let me just keep feeding. I'm going to stop my mixer for a sec and make sure that everything continues to combine. All right. If you notice on my dough hook, I've got a little bit of a shaggy dough forming. It's a good start. Need to continue to get all this flour incorporated, which means taking all of the flour that's stuck to the sides and putting it down to the bottom. All right. Let us continue. We want quantities, then read the recipe. You silly goofus, or follow along with the recipe and post in the chat. It is okay. And honestly, I don't really, okay, something about cooking, which as I cook more and more, I follow recipes less and less. Like, there'll be a lot of times tonight where I'll be like, well, the recipe says this, but I'm doing this. Which, as you cook more and more and you start to like use more recipes that you find online or whatever, you end up getting a little bit more familiar with just kind of how things work. Like, you kind of know how things should look. Like, for example, I'm looking at my mixer, and that could use a little bit more water. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in there because it needs it. Just put a little bit more water. If you had the mixer cam, I would be able to show you, but unfortunately, you just kind of have to take my word for it. But anyway, after you start cooking for... the zombies are created. Yeah, that's typically how that works. No, I mean, so if you look at all of the recipes in the description, I'm actually referencing 2 different cooking blogs and the website of another food YouTuber who I really love. His videos are actually what started inspiring me to more seriously cook and try new things. But all of those recipes that you read online on like blogs and whatnot, the way those recipes were created, they were essentially stolen from someone. Well, stolen's not really the right word because there really isn't any stealing in cooking. Everyone just kind of takes other recipes and then they modify it as necessary. Like, for example, whenever I take a recipe online that's got onion, I typically substitute white onion for yellow. I typically substitute yellow onion for sweet onion. It really depends. Or you can put more garlic in there if you like more garlic, or less, or more salt or less. It's really just about familiarizing yourself with the recipe and just kind of the general art of cooking, because eventually you start to want to play around with things, and that's how you create the really cool results. A lot of the really, really weird, crazy recipes that I do came because I had an idea, and I'm like, okay, let me take this recipe that someone else did and just completely make it my own. All right. My mixer keeps unlocking. That is no good. That's okay. It can manage. This is a workhorse. But the dough is forming up nicely, which you'll have to take my word for it, unfortunately. But that is okay. Let me continue to see what's going on from there. All right, so the next step from there is to take the dough once it is done kneading and put it into a nice bowl that's coated in oil so that it can rest for most of the rest of the stream. We'll see it back again later on, but basically I'm just going to put it to the side so that we can continue. So I just dump out that bowl because I'm trying to get out the excess flour. And where is my nice olive oil? There it is. Also, another thing that you learn while cooking, not all olive oil is created equally. There are some olive oils that are nicer than others. You think $30 olive oil, that's definitely not worth it. But eventually you just kind of, if you ever try it and just buy an expensive olive oil and just taste it, you're like, wow, that actually tastes really good. I'm kind of surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, sometimes gigantic weird prices are actually justified, and with olive oil, it actually makes sense. You do kind of get what you pay for. You get the cheapo brand of olive oil at the store, and yeah, it'll work. Like, it is olive oil, but, like, there's a lot that you miss out if you go that route. Okay, let the dough continue to go. All right, awesome. I'm going to increase the speed to medium so that it can continue to knead. Cool, cool, cool. And we continue. I got my nice oiled bowl, so when that is ready, we can oil it, and yeah. let us continue. All right, so while that is kneading, let me start the basis of the sauce. So, unfortunately, I can't very easily show you what I am going to do on the stove. It's all going to be going into this Dutch oven right here, which makes it a little hard to see. Actually, I don't want you guys to miss this, and the dough is just going to be kneading, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get that camera working. I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to keep looking at chat, so feel free to keep interacting. I will answer questions as they come in, and hopefully I can get this camera working, because there's no reason why it shouldn't. Looking. I'm so incredibly confused. Luckily, I'm pretty tech savvy, so I kind of know what I'm doing. In theory, it is fine, though. No, not that. Properties. Deactivate, and then activate. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just had to deactivate and reactivate the source. That's actually really nice. Okay. Well, I'm embarrassed. It's just you and me? It's okay. Oh well, I mean, the timing wasn't ideal, but it's fine. Oh gosh. That's okay. Also, my mixer just keeps bucking. It's supposed to lock all the way, and it's not. That's kind of interesting. Hopefully I don't break my mixer. That'd be kind of embarrassing if my first cooking stream I broke my mixer. Yeah, because every time it kind of bucks, it kind of unlocks just a little bit more, and then it just keeps slipping and slipping and slipping. You do deliver right. You do deliver right. That was not coherent. That's okay, though. You don't have to be coherent. All right, let this continue to do its thing. Me and the GF are here. I was put in jail. Oh, shit. Chill. Mixer, chill, please. Good to see you, Alex. Good to see you, Rhea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wish Kyle were here because he has more experience with KitchenAids. There's probably a very simple and easy solution to that. All right, it has been 7 minutes. Let us get this into a bowl, and we can continue. Let's see. All right. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and yoink this whole thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this into my nice oiled bowl. Actually, I'm going to work this just a little bit to try again to a cohesive ball so that it'll stay together. I either sent too many messages or mentioned a forbidden word. Well, I don't have any forbidden words. I don't think. I don't have any forbidden words, so I can't imagine why you got banned, because I don't actually have much moderation set up right now. I turned most of the automated stuff off. Just I have some very basic, like, if you send like 100 words a minute, you'll get timed out. Yeah, just working the dough, trying to get it nice and cohesive. Which there's nothing wrong with working dough like this. If you're working with cookie dough, sometimes the oils from your hands can mess it up, but like bread dough, in my experience, I've never really noticed a huge issue with it. Also, you're just kind of... People have been kneading dough with their hands for thousands of years. If there were really a problem with it, I think we would know. But I have the power. Yes, for now. That nice wrench that you have next to your name is temporary. It can come and go depending on how things go. So be careful. All right. Get this nicely coated in my olive oil. actually let you guys see what I'm doing here. Kind of looks like a brain. But yeah, I'm just coating the dough in oil. Leave that there. And then I'm just going to grab some tin foil and I'm going to cover this up. And then we will see this again in an hour and a half. Providing I didn't kill the yeast. I don't think I did, but we'll see. Okay. That water is still warm. Perfect. That is good. All right. Put that over to the side. Let me just readjust. There we are. Beautiful. That's a little high. There we go. Perfect. All right, now we're going to start the sauce, which I'm excited for. I've actually done this sauce recipe multiple times in the past, and it always turns out fantastic. Binging with Babish, wonderful, beautiful man, rich, deep voice. I wish I had his voice, to be honest. Or actually, I just want him to narrate my life, read me bedtime stories before I fall asleep. That would be fantastic. But, yeah, I unfortunately do not. All right, let me just move my mixer cam over to become my sauce cam. I just have to be careful. My hands are all oily, and I don't want to get oil on my camera lens, or we will have problems. There we go. Beautiful. And now, in theory, if I switch this to my stove focus, there we are. Perfect. And that is how that should have been the entire time. Well, that's okay. All right, so let's get this started. I'm going to start heating this up because since this is a cast iron Dutch oven, it will take a little while to heat up. And then I'm going to grab some of my cheapo olive oil. Thank you, Kroger. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with cheap olive oil. It's just there's a time and a place. If it's something that you think you're really going to taste the olive oil, don't skimp out. Buy some expensive olive oil. It'll really transform your life. But if you're doing something like this, essentially I'm just frying vegetables, it does not really make any difference, and it's just a waste of a nice ingredient if you do that. All right, now we start. So let me grab my garlic and my onion, and we will proceed. So first things first, well, let's let our oil get a little shimmery. If you do this long enough, you can actually tell how hot things are just by looking at them. But I've got all my garlic here. We're going to put that in there once things are ready. And then we're going to go off the beaten track when it comes to the recipe. The recipe calls for 1 yellow onion, if memory serves. But instead of doing that, I did half a yellow onion and half a red onion because I really like red onion. And I think it would bring a lot to the sauce. Me and my family have a special spaghetti sauce that we make for a lot of occasions, and it's all red onion. And I think that's where I got my my love for it. It's just so good. Okay, awesome. And then let me just grab some more ingredients so that we can keep this rolling. How you guys doing in chat? How you doing, Rivera? Life good? I hope life is good. Although I want to find out what that forbidden word was. I'm still working out all of the kind of technological kinks that are going on. Eventually I'll get it all sorted. In theory. This is actually my first cooking stream, so could be worse. Mine. Also, nice thing to have for a kitchen, Dutch ovens are fantastic. Granted, there are several types of Dutch ovens. There we go, I'll talk to the camera. There are several types of Dutch ovens. There are ones that you'd use camping, which are unfinished cast iron, and then there are ones that are meant for inside cooking, which are enameled cast iron. This is the enameled variety. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Actually, it does. I mean, it changes the flavor somewhat because the unenameled cast iron holds some of the flavor of previous things you've made, whereas the enameled doesn't as long as you wash it properly. But yeah, I mean, they're both kind of tools for different settings. I'm going camping this weekend, and I actually don't have a camping Dutch oven, but if I were going to be cooking on the fire, that's what I would use. Although, do look out for a video on the channel for some cooking while camping. It's going to be great. It is indeed going to be fantastic. All right. My oil is still not hot enough. This Dutch oven takes a while to get to temperature. So we'll just relax and we'll just relax and see how things go. For those of you who may have just joined, today we are making Stromboli. Let me just give you a little bit of a peek of what that entails. We are making Stromboli with homemade pizza dough. Stromboli is kind of a cousin of the pizza. It shares a lot of ingredients, just slightly different form factor, if I can use that technical definition to apply to it. We're making some homemade marinara, which is to dip the Stromboli in after it is pulled out of the oven and cut. And then we're also making homemade breadsticks, because why not? Breadsticks are wonderful. Basically, the breadstick recipe that I'm using is like a copycat recipe from Olive Garden. Some of the best recipes that I've actually done are copycat recipes from like restaurants. Like, it's actually really cool. If you have ever an interest in cooking and you've been to like just some restaurant, bigger restaurants, typically you'll have a little more luck finding a recipe. But if you look online, sometimes you can find someone who has made the recipe their own and figured out kind of sort of how to produce the same results. Granted, they're sometimes hit or miss. Like, sometimes they're the same-ish, sometimes they're different-ish. It's really one of those things that you just have to try it, and it's loads of fun. It is so much fun to just play around and try cooking different things. Also, if I start getting progressively more hair in my face as the stream goes on, this is actually my first ponytail, which I am somewhat embarrassed to say. I've never actually done that. See, I like the long hair because, I mean, it's a quarantine. Of course, it's definitely the time and the place to try new things. I mean, being viewed on the internet kind of undermines that a little bit because I've got like image and stuff. But I really like the long hair. But unfortunately, when cooking, I have to tie it up because otherwise it just I get hair and everything. And I figure if I'm showing all of you wonderful people what I'm cooking, I might as well play it safe. Also, in some of the comments for the last video, I was recommended to do that. All right, I'm starting to smell olive oil. That means it is starting to get close in temperature. When you start to actually smell the oil, that means we're getting close. Hair and food bad. Yes, totally agree. Granted, I don't agree. Okay, so you know like that stereotypical, like if I go to a restaurant and find a hair in my food, send it back. I'm not sure I agree with that. That's kind of excessive. Like, if you have hair in food, depending on what it is, like if it's not like a big old clump of hair, like, whatever. It's not, I mean, granted, if I had a restaurant, like there are obvious professional standards that you're supposed to hit. Like, if you are indeed a professional, like, you need to make sure there's no hair in your food. But if I'm a customer and I see a hair, I'll probably just pull it out of my food and keep going. Usually just because I'm hungry, but also just because since I have been cooking for a little while, I kind of feel for those line cooks in the back who probably didn't even necessarily, it's probably not even their hair. It's probably like the waiter's hair or someone else who handled the food between the line cook and the person, and now that line cook is now undergone and has to remake stuff. I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, look, I'm not saying as a chef it doesn't matter, because if you're the chef, it matters if you get hair in your food. I'm just saying if you're the customer and you're the one who's ordering and you get hair in your food, going full super Karen is not the way. I don't think so. At least that's a slice of my personal philosophy. You can take it or leave it. All right, I'm just going to toss one little piece of onion in there and see. Okay, we are not hot enough. I'm going to turn this up even hotter because I am impatient. All right, we are proceeding along. We are behind schedule. Nice. That's okay. That's part of the reason why I factored in a little bit of overflow time at the end. I want your hair in my foods. Well, Rivera, if I ever get the chance that I am cooking for you, either in a restaurant setting or who knows, I will make sure to put just the perfect little tuft of hair right at the top of the, like right at the apex of whatever little mound of food is on the plate. Just because. Yeah. No, I won't. But it's a funny idea. And sometimes that is enough. Okay, all right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roast some garlic, because I'm making some garlic butter later on, and roasted garlic is sometimes better than raw garlic for some applications. So let me grab a few heads of garlic. I've got plenty right here, and I will show you some things. First, preheat the oven to 400 degrees. I don't have this recipe in the description because it's kind of a simple thing. I'll add it in later. But for now, Basically, it's really, really simple. You take a head of garlic, and then you just kind of cut off the bottom, and then you put it on a tray, and you cook it for like 40 minutes. It's super, super simple, but the results are magical. I will show you what I mean when this eventually finishes. So, yeah, see what I did here? We just kind of take the head of garlic and we just chop. We just give it a little haircut, and then we put it on a tray. Let me grab a tray. I already have one foiled over here so that I don't have to wash as many dishes later on. Just because I have a dishwasher doesn't mean I like washing dishes. And let's put them all on the tray so that we can proceed. All right, just gonna angle you down there really quick. All right, that's 2. I'm gonna go for 5 because I want a fair amount of garlic butter. I really like garlic butter, and I'm probably going to make enough that the next recipe that I make, I will be able to have more garlic. What is it? That's why you don't stack things on top of each other. Okay. And then let's continue. Just 2 more. Grab my knife. Nice, sharp knife. And we will continue. I just keep seeing the "I want your hair in my foods" comments, and I can't help but laugh. You're such a goofball. And I actually have the perfect amount of garlic, which makes sense because I planned this somewhat. All right. And then I'm just going to throw it in there because you don't really need to preheat stuff all the way. You just have to increase the amount of time that you would expect it to take. All right, and then I'm just going to take my camera and angle it back up so that y'all can see me. Perfect. And we will switch over to the stove cam so that we can start throwing some stuff in. So first I'm going to throw in the red onion because red onion takes heat a little bit better than the other varieties. And I want to break down the red onion just a little bit more. All right. Move this around a little bit. In general, if it says to roast onion and garlic, always put the onion in first and then leave the garlic right for the end because garlic has a tendency to burn really, really fast. So typically what you want to do, you really don't want to cook garlic for more than like a minute because if you do that, it'll just burn to a crisp and then you'll get kind of an acrid aftertaste to all your food instead of that nice, wonderful, perfumey garlic taste. And no one likes that. No one likes burnt food. Just one of those little things you pick up with time. My kind of hope with these cooking streams is, one, to kind of showcase some recipes that I think are really cool, some stuff that I've made in the past, or like some things that I think would be fun to watch being made. But on top of that, to also try to sprinkle in as many little pearls of wisdom as I can, because I have been cooking for other people in an organized way for probably about 4 or 5 years. Well, okay, 4 years doing it seriously. And you pick up a thing or two on the way. Also, I have no traditional training at all. So everything that you see I'm doing here is without any sort of formal training. My best teacher has been, as you can imagine, YouTube. I see myself kind of paying it forward, as it were, for a lot of the creators who showed people like me how to make stuff and really inspired me with their recipes. Now I'm taking some of the recipes that I've found and I'm making them, and hopefully I can inspire some of you to pick up a wooden ladle and run around a kitchen frantically talking to yourself in front of a camera. That's really the goal. All right. All right. Red onions are proceeding nicely. Now let's toss in the white. I don't care about the white onions getting broken down quite as much. Red onions, when you break it down, they gain a really sweet flavor very quickly, which I like. That's what I'm shooting for. Good sweet marinara sauce with a ton of meat, but you'll see all the meat in a bit. Very excited for that. Okay. I'm just going to let that cook for a little bit. And let me look at my recipe and see what we have coming down the pipe. Okay, it is 7:39. We are 15 minutes behind schedule. Oh well, that is honestly not that bad. Not that bad at all. But we'll manage. We'll manage. I'm pretty happy with the progress. My goal is to have food ready as close to 10 as possible. Right now, I'm on pace for about 10:05, 10:10 or so. I wrote myself some wiggle room into some of my timeline items, so we'll see together. We'll see together. Feel free to go ahead and put in the chat right now the exact time that you think that the food will be ready, and whoever's the closest, I will put a whole bunch of channel points in your guys' account. But yeah, feel free to put that in there. I have a feeling I'm going to see a lot of pessimistic guesses, but I'll just ignore those and soldier on, because I am confident in myself. We are going to finish on time. I can make up. There are some places that I can make up time. As long as my dough rises. If my dough doesn't rise, then we will have problems. We will have little itty bitty issues. All right. Continuing to sweat down these onions. Basically, what's happening in the onions as you cook them is the sugars in the onions start to caramelize, which is really, really cool. And you start to lose moisture, so the onions will decrease in mass, and a lot of the moisture will go up into the air. Honestly, we'll see what happens to my camera. I'm slightly worried that I could steam up the lens. So far, it hasn't been an issue. That's why the camera is up here as opposed to down there, because don't want to steam my my backup camera. That'd be bad. All right. That looks good, and now the garlic. Make sure we get all of this garlic. If I remember correctly, it is 6 cloves of garlic for this recipe. Most of the time, in general, I double the amount of garlic that should go in recipes, because I really like garlic. I'm not a vampire, trust me. Even though my teeth's a little sharp, I am not a vampire. But this time I figured I would go closer to the recipe, just in this regard. One, save time, because garlic takes a while to break down. And just also because, well, you'll find out a little later why exactly I'm putting the amount of garlic that I am. In the future, I'll put a timestamp and be like, this is where he refers to something that'll be important later on. For now, I will just be cryptic and leave you guessing as to why it is important we keep the amount of garlic. I wish y'all could smell the garlic just wafting across my kitchen, because it is lovely. It is wonderful. I love garlic. Garlic is fantastic. Garlic's actually a flower. Did y'all know that? I didn't. I figured it was some sort of vegetable, but the garlic is actually the flower of a plant. And kind of it's weird. It's really weird. I mean, once you see the shape, it's impossible not to come to once you make that association, it's okay, what else could it be? But yeah, I don't know. Caught me by surprise a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to leave that for a second, and I'm going to transfer all the stuff that's in the Dutch oven to this plate, and then we're going to start cooking some meat, which I am excited for. Okay. Grab my oven mitts. It's not that hot. If I burn my hands on my first cooking stream, that'd be some serious bad luck. And I've already had some weird stuff happen. Ugh. Like having cameras just stopping working out of nowhere. I'm not really interested in tempting fate any further. Knock on wood. All right. Now, here is another place I'm deviating from the recipe. The recipe calls for a pound of ground beef. I found this ground beef on clearance, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 pounds of ground beef in there, because I really like meat. Meat is fantastic. Just because I look like a vegan with my ponytail. No. We like meat. Meat is good. Preferably ethically sourced meat. If I can win back the vegans I just made angry about that ponytail comment. All right. Put 1 brick of beef in there. I'm going to do this a pound at a time just so it doesn't get too overwhelming. Just going to break it up a little bit, and then I'm going to season it with salt and pepper just so that it, beef, love beef. Just so it isn't bland. You can ethically source. I'm not going to say that comment on the video. I'll laugh at it though. That is hilarious. Okay. So my meat is broken up. Now let's just toss some pepper and some salt. Where is my salt? There is my salt. Almost out of salt. That is not good. But I'll have enough for tonight. Like I said, things like this, measurement's optional. You really, really don't need to measure anything when it comes to like seasoning ground beef or something of this nature. Measurement doesn't really help you there. And plus, it's just, how else do you play around with it? Like, how else do you get to play around with the numbers, if not by, like, experimenting and just throwing stuff in the pot? I know sometimes I just throw random spices into my food and see what happens. That's how I started my love of paprika. Paprika is actually my favorite spice. But, yeah, paprika, cayenne, chili powder, chili pepper, turmeric, just random spices. Like, you can just throw it in there. That's not true. That's not true. You want to taste more than the garlic. If you're only tasting garlic, then, I mean, granted, depending on what it is, okay, if you're making like garlic butter, yeah, I can see what you mean. But if you're having anything other than that, you don't want to taste just like garlic, because that's a bummer. You want to taste more than that. All right, I'm going to kick up my stove another notch. I have to be careful. I'm still getting used to this stove because it's a electric stove, and I'm not used to it. Maybe spicy Italian reverse, by the way. Put what you put in there, because I'm very interested in trying new spice mixes. All right, our oven just went up to 10. Let me just look at the time. Perfect. We are back on track. I'm basically going off of memory for a lot of the times for things. I've got like a rough timeline here on my computer, but a lot of the stuff where it's like, oh, let this cook for 40 minutes, I'm just keeping it up in my head, and hopefully it all works out. Like I said before, I have faith. It's all going to go well. All is going to go to plan. Still waiting for that spice mix recipe, Rivera. I want it. Although spicy Italian, actually, let me try a guess. I'm guessing cayenne, probably for the spice, like the actual spicy component. And then parsley, oregano, salt, pepper, garlic. Maybe a little chipotle. Maybe a little chipotle would tie that together. I really like chipotle pepper too. It's not my favorite spice, but it's close. I put a lot of chipotle pepper in everything. Although, it's been a bummer for the last few weeks. My grocery store has not been carrying chipotle pepper. I've been looking everywhere. I've gone to 3 different Ralphs in my area, and nothing has, there hasn't been any chipotle pepper. So if any of you are related to any of the yes, fantastic. Aw, thanks, Rhea. But yeah, no, if any of you are related to someone in the Kroger upper management, like someone who works for corporate Kroger, tell them to staff chipotle pepper in all of their locations, because chipotle pepper is just a fabulous spice in general. All right, we're getting there. This is the first pound of ground beef. We're going to do 1 more pound, and then we're going to do some sausage. Then from there, we pull this out, we put a whole bunch of stuff in, and we let it simmer for a long, long, long time while we make some pizza dough, which I'm really excited for. I've only made pizza dough a couple other times, so it's still in like the adventurous, like new stage. I am just so tempted to take a look at the other dough, but I know I shouldn't look at it too hard. Oh well. Y'all can help me be patient. Oh, what's up, Anthony? Nice to see you, man. Spicy spaghetti? No, not tonight. Today, okay, so for those of you who are joining we are making Stromboli from scratch. Anthony, you haven't actually seen my Stromboli yet, but trust me, it's a fantastic recipe. Essentially, Stromboli is a variation of pizza. It's kind of like a calzone, but it's better. And we're making our own marinara sauce to dip it in. Although, there may be a spice component later on, so just wait. Just wait like 20, 30 minutes or so, and you may see some spice. You may see some spice flow tonight. A little Dune reference there for those of you who have read Dune. Fantastic book. I love Dune. The spice must flow. Okay. That's all done. Let me get another plate. And I will transfer it over. Oh, that is significantly hotter now. Where are my oven mitts? Ah, perfect. Grab my oven mitts, and let's get all of this ground beef out of here. I'm going to keep the oil, because that's going to, well, I'll try my best to keep the oil, because that'll actually make it significantly easier to cook the next batch, because oil will make it cook faster. We're going to skim off most of the oil at the end. Well, before we let this thing start to simmer. All right. Also, if anyone is concerned by black or brown stuff at the bottom of my pan, do not be, because that is actually where you get most of your flavor. The technical cooking term for that is called fond. And if you've ever heard of deglazing a pan, what they're doing is they're adding liquid to get all of that wonderful built-up stuff off of the pan and into the food, and it is delicious. It really adds a lot of depth and a lot of character to whatever you're making. All right, let me try to move this a little better. I realize my forearm is obscuring a lot of what is going on. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to get as much as I can. I'm not going to get all of it because I don't really care. If there is some stuff that's a little bit more overdone, that's actually fine. That's a little bit more flavor too. That will not cause any harm at all. But let me just get my next little thing here. Next little brick of beef. It says it's Kobe beef, but by that logic, I can say I'm Kobe beef too, because this probably isn't real Kobe beef. Just because there are laws that say false advertising is wrong doesn't mean people actually follow those laws. It's okay. All right. We continue. So far, we are doing all right. We are continuing to make the marinara sauce, and soon we're going to get to the pizza dough, which now you can actually see the dough form on the mixer cam, which I'm really excited for, because last time I thought you guys were going to be able to see it, but didn't quite work out that way. That's okay though. I'm just glad all the technology is working now. Knock on wood. All right, just keep breaking her up. I'm going to add some more seasoning. Add some salt and some pepper. Smattering of pepper and a few shakes of the salt. If I can get my nails there we go. Wonderful. All right, and we continue. All right. Cool. While that simmers, let me consult my recipe and make sure that we are along schedule and just look ahead to see what comes next. Also, I'm going to bone up on the pizza dough stuff now just so I can keep track of things a little better. Actually, just for the sake of time, actually, no. Cancel that. I'm going to keep going the way I'm going. I have faith in the timeline. Also, my ponytail is starting to decompose. I'm starting to get stray hairs. That's okay. It's accomplishing the majority of what it's supposed to do. It's keeping the hair out of the food. Hair in my face, fine. Hair in food, not good. All right. Just breaking it down so I don't end up with a hamburger. Not wrong, I like giant hamburgers. I've actually made giant hamburgers before. But we're not going for that. We're trying to get everything nice and broken down, so when we put additional things in here, everything will work out. Although, I hope this Dutch oven is big enough. That's the only little thing I am a little worried about. But it's okay. We'll see. We'll see. As long as it doesn't boil over, we'll be fine. If it boils over, we might have an issue. Okie dokie then. All right. All right. That's almost done. It's almost done. I don't have to worry about getting all exactly perfectly cooked. If some of it is under, that's actually not the end of the world, because since it's going to be going for so long after this, it's not going to hurt anything. It's still going to be safe to eat. In fact, you can eat beef raw. Like having beef raw actually isn't inherently bad for you. The problem is bacteria. So if you're having like a nice big steak, medium rare, because that's the ideal temperature, at least in my opinion. Some people prefer other temperatures. I know a lot of my family are medium people. A lot of my friends eat their steaks medium. I enjoy a rare steak every once in a while, so everyone is different. But the reason that that's okay, because the meat still isn't cooked all the way through, because it's not well done. So like they're still pink in the middle. But the reason that that's okay is because one, the steak that you buy, or more specifically the steak that you get in restaurants, is they make very sure that the outside of the steaks are kept very clean and kept in sanitary conditions so that bacteria cannot grow, which is good because that bacteria can make you seriously, seriously ill. But stuff like ground beef, you have to be careful because I'm about to sneeze. That was fun. But anyway, so the reason that matters with ground beef is because there's so much surface area now since you ground it all up. Now there's just bacteria throughout. Like steak is a nice big block, so anything in the center, bacteria isn't going to have any chance to reach as long as the steak hasn't spoiled. But the ground beef, complete opposite, is it can be a bacteria haven if you are not careful, so that is why you need to make sure it's cooked all the way through. Mine's looking pretty good. All right, that's enough of that. Now let's do the sausage really quickly, and we will continue. All right. Getting some sausage on my hands, so I will wash them. I don't think you'll be able to see it because of the camera angles, but I will wash my hands because you want to wash your hands after handling raw meat. That is important, just for safety. All right. There we go. Also, sausage, you'll notice I'm not going to season this because Furoda. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, you actually don't need to, you don't really need to season sausage because most sausage already has a lot of seasoning in it. Because all sausages is a whole bunch of different pig parts just kind of mashed up and ground together, and they include a lot of spices in that. The sausage that I'm using is sweet Italian sausage, which already has a ton of flavor and spice. And you really don't need to add anything to it for it to taste good. So I'm just going to keep going. Notice I'm accumulating quite a lot of oil. That's not really a problem. We're going to, after I get this done, I'm going to pour most of the oil off into a bowl that I'm going to place somewhere off camera, and we'll continue. We'll make some pizza dough, and it will be glorious. All right, how am I doing on time? Cool. Cool. All right. God, it smells so good. I ate before this stream just so I wouldn't feel really tempted to nibble. Like, all of this ground beef here, I just want to start pawing at it. But I ate a little bit ahead of time just to make sure I wouldn't have those urges, but I still do. The moment I start smelling food like this, like, it doesn't matter how full my stomach is, it's like my brain's just like, boom, I need food. I'm hungry. All right, let's keep breaking this up, making sure it's cooking evenly, Got a little bit of beef still in there. That is fine. It'll just continue to cook. Continue to add flavor. Sausage is another thing. You absolutely need to make sure you cook sausage because it's the same deal as ground beef. Since it's all ground up, there's really no guarantee that there's no guarantee that the bacteria will not be present. That's why back to my point with restaurants and like the fact that they hold themselves to very high standards with sanitation. If you're ever going to have something like beef tartare, make sure you do it in a restaurant. Make sure it's a good one because beef tartare is one of those things where it's essentially just raw ground beef with a little bit of additional stuff. Like they don't actually really cook it. So you want to make sure that, I mean, they kind of cook it because it's like with acids and stuff, but it's not like it's not heat cooking. So if there's already some bacteria in there before, it won't kill any of the bacteria, and you'll just eat all that and then end up on the toilet for a really long time. But if you get beef tartare, have it in a restaurant because they are specially trained to make sure that it is sanitary, and more importantly, they follow the beef for beef tartare from when the cow is slaughtered all the way to your plate, so they can guarantee that it will be safe to eat. I've actually never had beef tartare. It's on my to-do list. Has anyone in chat had beef tartare before? Anyone? No? Okay. Let me know if you tried it, because I'd if you know those of you who know where I live, I'm not going to dox myself on stream, but those of you who know where I live, feel free to tell me later about if there are any good places in LA to try it. Granted, with the lockdown and all that jazz, it's harder and harder to have good food. Plus, a lot of restaurants have gone under, sadly, in these trying times. But it's okay. Everything will bounce back. Everything will bounce back. I have faith. See, we're building up a nice fond on the side of the Dutch oven there. That is a great sign. That is going to be all of our flavor in a little bit. All right. Cool. This is getting pretty close. There's only a few places where there's some red. Just want to keep breaking this up and keep looking, because, see, there's like a pocket right there of red. Hopefully the saturation of the camera is enough. There's like a little bit of red, like right here-ish. Want to make sure that it is all good. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add back in all of the stuff. But actually, before we do that, let's skim off all this extra oil. I've got a nice little oil receptacle over here. When you're cooking in general, don't put the oil down the sink. I learned that the hard way. One time when I was living in my fraternity house, I actually managed to screw up some piping because I put some oil down the sink when I shouldn't have. And that's not good. Don't do that. Your parents, your loved ones, whoever has to deal with that is not fantastic. Oh, I was very surprised when I found out a Dutch oven was an actual cooking implement and not a weird slang term. Yeah, I can, that does make sense. Okay, and then we'll add the rest of this. Then we add these back. Now we start adding fun stuff so that we can get this simmering. It's going to simmer for most of the rest of the stream until the very end when we needed to eat stuff. So let me grab some stuff. First, I am going to put my basil down. I'm going to ignore that for a little bit. The recipe calls for 4 28-ounce cans. And these are indeed 28 ounces. The recipe calls for San Marzano tomatoes. I don't have San Marzano tomatoes. I have whatever was available at the store at a cheap price. Which is fine. You don't need to follow recipes exactly. Hopefully that's something that I have adequately explained to this point. But yeah. Also, if you see something with San Marzano tomatoes, like it says San Marzano on the jar, there's actually no really good guarantee without doing some research that it actually is San Marzano, because there's a little itty-bitty seal on there of authenticity or something like that That's the only way to actually guarantee that that it's actually San Marzano tomatoes, because well, in a lot of countries they typically have like a commission to preserve foods that are in part of their cultural heritage, and San Marzano is one of those foods for Italy. So there's a whole bunch of people in like the United States and like other countries who will label their things as San Marzano even when they're not, which is a bit sneaky, but it's business. It just means when you are looking, if you are trying to get that authentic San Marzano tomato experience, just keep your eyes open, do your research, don't just blindly take the packaging for granted, because just we as Americans, since we have like an FDA and all that stuff, like we tend to just kind of take packaging as holy writ. You can't really do that in all cases. Like, it's not a good habit to get into. Be skeptical. Be skeptical. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being skeptical about things that you read. Always make sure that you have independently verified that what you are reading is in fact correct. That is part of just being informed, which is good. All right, and then 2 more cans. All right. Yeah, I like Dutch ovens. They come in handy. Like, they're really, really good for certain applications. Making sauces like this is one of them. Also, the camping version is really, really helpful. Yeah. If you notice, I'm also not following the recipe when it comes to... It says to use whole tomatoes and to crush them. I actually don't enjoy doing that. If y'all want to, go for it. But I like doing a mix. I do some cans of, like, diced tomatoes. And then I do usually like 2 cans of just straight sauce. Because, well, okay, there's a difference between sauce and crushed tomatoes. This isn't actually sauce, it's crushed tomatoes. But it really just kind of depends as to what consistency you're trying to get. Because even though we are simmering this for a very long time, there's still no guarantee that you are going to get all of everything broken down by the time it's ready. All right, so now all we have to do is fill a can partially with water. This will all evaporate out as the thing cooks, but it is important. I need to be really careful, though, because my Dutch oven is very close to full. So let's just very, very carefully stir this. I'm going to have to keep a very close eye on this as it cooks, because this is... that extra pound of beef was... not wrong, it's going to taste delicious. And this is going to be a fabulous sauce, but there is every chance that this could boil over if I don't pay attention to it. So if you see anything hinky going on in the background, feel free to post in chat, just so I know. Okay, so that's good. And then I'm going to add some basil. Basil is good. That was a lot of basil. The recipe calls for significantly less basil than that, but I really like basil. And then 1 Parmesan cheese rind. That will actually deepen your sauce and make everything taste a heck of a lot better. So now we're just going to take the stove and we're going to put it on medium-low. And then I'm going to grab my oven mitts because the lid has been sitting partially on the burner, so it's probably very, very hot. I'm just going to take this lid and I'm just going to put it just slightly off, because I'm trying to sweat a lot of water out of this sauce. In general, if you're trying to get a sauce to condense, like get thicker, have the pot lid slightly off so that escaping water vapor can escape and not be reincorporated to the other stuff. Okay, basil and Parmesan rind. Okay, so the garlic has been in the oven, so we're ahead there. Now let's make some pizza dough. So let me just empty this out and toss this with the rest of the trash. And then I am going to bring the mixer back into the forefront because we're going to make some more dough. Let me just move my camera back so that it is nicely orientated for the next mixing thing. Don't worry about the residue of the previous project. It's not really going to make a difference. Okay, so now we do basically the same steps as the first one, but there are a little bit of kinks. So First step, add olive oil, salt, and flour. No. Add warm water, yeast, and granulated sugar. Okay, so is my water still hot? No, it is not. My water is cold. That is not good. Let me first heat this back up a little bit, just so I can get this so that it is indeed warm. There we go. All right. Okay. So we do warm water, yeast, and then granulated sugar. The sugar is really important, which you may think it's kind of strange. Why sugar in dough? But it's actually food for the yeast, because the yeast are little microorganisms that need to eat too. So they eat the sugar. And then the bubbles that they produce make your dough all light and airy, which is neat. That's really, really cool. Okay. All right, fantastica. Cool. And then I've got more flour. This one doesn't call for bread flour like the other one. It just calls for all-purpose flour, which is nice. It makes my life a little easier. Whew, okay, and then... All right, we're good. Now let me just check the water. Still not hot enough. The water needs to be about 110 degrees. That's a nice hot tub temperature. Well, actually, no, that's really hot for a hot tub. So if you stick your... Don't stick your finger in water in general unless you are very, very sure about how long it's been cooking. I know how long it's been. What is a baker's favorite musical artist? I know that's probably a bad dad joke. If I can guess the answer, it won't be as bad. Baker's favorite musical artist. Crap. I don't know. Oh, that's so bad. You make me consider putting yeasty on my list of words that are no words. Okay, so the water is hot. Now let us add the appropriate amount. So if we look at our Stromboli recipe, 1 1/3 cups of hot water, or warm water. So that's about half a cup. That's about half a cup. That's about half a cup. And then a little bit extra to make it 1 1/3. Beautiful. So that is the water. Now the sugar. And then the yeast. That'll start to foam up after 5 minutes. We're just going to let that incorporate for about 5 minutes while we say it on camera, you coward. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that was just a nice suggestion. Yeah, so give me the glory I deserve. Oh, Lord. Well, anyway, I'm going to grab a spoon and just lightly stir that so that it can get all nice and incorporated. And the yeast, you'll notice it'll start to foam up a little bit as it starts to do its thing. As the yeasts start to eat the sugar, you'll start to get a little bit of foam on the top, which is exactly what we want. That's a nice big clump of yeast right there. I bought this yeast yesterday, so it should be all alive and well. Yeast can actually die. I forget where I read it, but if yeast is left in the fridge or in the cool place that you were storing it for more than 4 months, it can actually die to the point where it will not be effective for your food. So, in general, if you're going to use yeast, use it before you lose it, because there's every chance that you can. Side view, send down. Better. Awesome. Fantastica. All right, we're good. We are good. All right, so I'm going to let that go for 5 minutes. It is 13 minutes past the hour, which, not too bad. We're still about 10 minutes behind the pace. We're going to make up that time. I promise you we'll make up that time. Let's see. And I'm just going to check on this, make sure it is indeed simmering, not boiling. You don't want a vigorous boil. You just want a nice simmer. Although, with something this large, it will take some time for everything to get to temperature. But that's by design. Like, I can hear it. You probably can't hear it because it's a little faint for the microphones, but if you could hear it, you hear a little bit of bubbling at the bottom. What you want is just a nice even simmer throughout out. Okay. Although I'll probably stir in just a little bit just to make sure. All right, the yeast is doing its thing. I'm just going to break up some of these clumps because kind of defeats the purpose if all of the yeast are just rafted together. Although, you notice they are starting to, well, it's more just by their texture as I'm breaking them up on the spoon, but just by looking at them, I can tell that they are alive and well and doing fine. It's interesting with the different types of dough how you deal with the yeast differently. If you notice with the other dough, you just kind of pounded it all together and then threw it off into the fridge. Well, not the fridge. It's actually sitting on top of my fridge because top of my fridge is nice and warm, and you want it to be nice and warm so the yeast have a favorable environment to grow and multiply and all that jazz. But yeah, what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. I was saying something about yeast, and I just completely got sidetracked. But anyway, we want them to multiply. We want them to grow so that they can produce also. Oh, yeah. I was talking about differences. Yeah. So there's a very large difference between how you deal with the yeast for this pizza dough and how you deal with the breadstick dough. That actually influences in a huge way the eventual texture of the dough, because pizza dough has a very different texture than like the very light and fluffy breadsticks. Like, we're allowing the yeast the maximum chance to introduce air into the dough, which is good. You want those Olive Garden breadsticks to be just light and airy and wonderful on the inside. Okay. You know what? I feel like now is a good time for something. Let me just double check to make sure all of my technology ducks are in a row, and I will show you something cool. Okay, neat. All right. So, I'm going to do something kind of special. This is, normally I would do this later in the stream, but since just kind of the way the recipes are going, I kind of think that it'll work better in this part of the stream. So, we're going to do something, hopefully it'll become a tradition on my channel, called the SpiceBomb. Those of you who watch Dragon Ball, if you know what the Spirit Bomb is, this is kind of similar. Basically what it is all of the people in chat, all of you wonderful people in the audience, are going to be able to donate your channel points towards a large community goal. And if all of you manage to get enough points together in 60 seconds, I have to add a ton of spicy stuff, cayenne, to what the current thing that I'm making. I'm not going to explain to you how I'm going to add it yet. Some of you may guess, and if you do, feel free to put that in the comments. Good for you. But yeah, so we're going to start. Let me explain how you do it. So in chat, if you do !spice and then a number, which is the number of channel points that you want to use for this purpose, go for it. That is how you do it. If you want to know how many points you have to use, !B in the chat will allow you to see your balance in points. It'll pop up on screen. There's a little bit of a delay just because that's how the technology works, but you'll see. All right, let's get this started. All right. I'm going to trigger this spice bomb. Boom. All right, so if y'all, I just realized there's no window to see your points. Sorry, technical difficulties again, but let me just throw that up there. All right, there we go. No, Rivera, you need to. There needs to be a space, my guy. Also, if memory serves, you do not have 1,000 points to spend. I have it really low tonight. I'm gonna make it really easy for you guys. Well, you better hurry. Sorry about that. Anyway, that little video showed that, hey, you guys managed to get it. That's really freaking cool. I probably made the goal a little lower than I should have for this stream, but that's fine. Well, anyway, I have a plan on how to incorporate cayenne into the food. I'm going to put in the sauce. So I'm thinking I'm going to add cayenne, and then I'm going to add a couple other peppers to kind of round out the flavor. Yeah, that's true. You do indeed get a lot of points spamming. Were you able to see your balance in time for the poll? I'm just making sure my internal tech is working. Feel free to tell me in the chat if all of that worked to plan. Well, anyway, let's add some stuff. Just let's ruin the good recipe that I have here and make it differenter. So that is that for a lack of a better term. I'm just going to swivel over to my bowl, over to my Dutch oven, and let's ruin this really quick. So I got a nice big thing of cayenne pepper, and we're just going to dump a whole at least 6 crap tons of cayenne pepper into this bowl and see what happens. Let me just open this up really quick. I actually used up one of these yesterday when I was cooking. Made a little bit of food after the stream, and I managed to really use a lot of cayenne pepper because I like my food spicy, which is why I do the SpiceBomb. All right, so that's probably enough cayenne. I'm gonna add the peppers in about the ratio that I think will work, and then from there we'll just see. So that's a little bit of crushed red pepper. Unfortunately, I only have a little bit of that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of chili powder because I think that'll ground it a little bit. All right, perfect. And then since we do have a lot of time on this to simmer, I'm also going to do some pepper flakes just to kick up the spice and give it a little bit of a variety of flavor. Okay, and then let's stir this up. I was going to stir this up anyway, so it all works out. It all works out. All right. May not look like much now, but it is going to be a spicy miracle when it is done. All right, and our dough is starting to look pretty good as well. So I'm going to quickly stir this, and then we are going to jump. That's what I was trying to avoid. I overcorrected. Oops. All right. That's fine. We'll try to ignore that. It's just splattering all over the place. Okay, fine. Let me take my lid and put my lid back on there. And then let's swivel back over to this view. If you notice, that got all foamy. That is exactly the way that should look after 5 minutes. So let's start adding some stuff. First thing we're going to add is some flour. Let me just double check my recipe really quick. Blah, 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 da-doo-da-dee-da-da. All right, add olive oil, salt, and flour. So first I'm going to add the olive oil. This is one of those times where you want to use a nice olive oil since it's going straight into a dough. It says, I think it's something like a tablespoon. I'm just going to add what I feel is the correct amount. You just have to feel it out, man. You just have to believe in yourself and go for it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the salt, because why not? And then flour. So let's put this down, lock it up so that it doesn't start jumping all over the place like last time. And we're just going to put this on low. And let me grab my nice big spoon, and let's feed this. I added a little bit at a time so it doesn't poof. Poof is a technical term where if you've seen any of the Mark Rober glitter bomb videos, they're fantastic, by the way, if you get the chance. They're loads of fun. But if a poof happens, flour just goes everywhere, which if you put too much flour in a mixer too quickly, then it'll do crazy stuff like that. You gotta be careful. Okay. Also have to be careful not to get my spoons stuck in there because I'm not trying to ruin my stand mixer on my first cooking stream. That'd be kind of a bummer. Okay. Starting to see a shaggy dough form at the bottom. In a little bit, I'm going to start working down the sides to make sure that the dough and the flour get all incorporated and friendly. And then eventually, we'll have a nice ball of dough. Basically, we're just trying to get this all to come together, and then after that, we're going to knead for probably somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes. That's one of those times where it's like you have to kind of feel with your hands and see where it's at and if it's good or not. Okay, I'm just going to put my hand on there so if it starts jumping around again, I'll know. Well, that looks really good. That looks like a really solid dough. All right, and then let me just double check the recipe. Ah. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just going to let this continue to knead. There is some flour. I'm just going to trust that it'll get it. I'll give it a second to get it. If it doesn't manage it by itself, I'll give it a little help. I've never actually kneaded dough with a stand mixer before, so I'm kind of excited. I'm used to getting my hands dirty with this, but we'll see if it turns out just as good with the stand mixer. I have faith, though. It certainly looks good. All right. Sorry, I just got mesmerized a little bit by my dough forming. It's looking great, though. Starting to get a nice big dough ball that looks good. We're just going to let that knead for a little bit longer because we want the texture to get just right. Essentially what we're doing by kneading is we're having the gluten molecules form really long chains, which gets the texture of the dough the way we want. When we cook it, it'll have that nice, wonderful, bready texture that everyone wants in their pizza crust, except for the people who like thin crust. They're valid too, but that scared me. That made me jump. Holy cow. Oh my God. My heart just stopped for a second there. I thought it jumped off the table. Oh man, oh man. Holy cow, that was scary. I'm just gonna keep my hand there just in case. Oh, holy moly. All right, so we just let this go for 1 or 2 more minutes longer. It's looking great. It looks really, really good. We'll let this go for just a little bit longer, and then we'll do something very similar that we did with the other dough. We'll put it in a bowl with some oil. I'm probably going to use this bowl just because this is the only other dough I'm making, so I don't really need to do any more with it. Yeah, we're making great time. We're doing good. All right. Sorry, this keeps spinning, and I keep losing track of everything that I'm doing. But I mean, although the funny thing is, I'm not very easily hypnotized, but this is getting to me. Maybe it's just been a long day. I don't know. All right, if you've been hypnotized, say so in the comments. I am curious, because I've been the unwilling subject, willing, unwilling, pushed on stage by friends, subject of hypnosis shows twice, and I have failed to be hypnotized both times. So please let me know in the comments if you had a similar experience, because I am genuinely curious. Okay, gonna let this keep going. All right, it's looking pretty good. Let's see how we did. Let me just turn you off. Okay, we have a dough. I can, in fact, confirm that we have a dough. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting there. I think I'm going to knead it with my hands for just a little bit longer. And I love making bread. Yes. Although, this is even better than bread. It's pizza dough. Like, this is just fantastic. Just kneading it, allowing that gluten, allowing that gluten to build up. And then I'm going to oil the bowl, and we will proceed with the other things. The garlic is... Oh, wow. The garlic is basically done. I just need to pull it out of the oven, and we're going to make some garlic butter, and then we'll go from there. We've got a lot of other fun stuff that's coming down the pipe, mostly just following through on stuff and things. We're almost ready to play with our breadstick dough. Yes. Oh, God, I'm hungry. I hear pizza, and my brain just starts to lose it a little bit. All right. I need some now. That was a terrible pun, and you should feel bad. It's bad, and you should feel bad. Okay. Luckily, it's starting to get a little sticky, which is good. That's a good sign. I want pizza dough to be a little sticky. I have a little bit of flour on my hands, so it's not really that big a deal. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm just folding it and smushing it down. I have a All right, that's not English. I know you're trying to do English, my guy, but that is not English. All right. All right. I believe that is, in fact, ready. There we go. We got dough. Let me, actually, just because it's here, I'm going to use this bowl for probably butter, and then this bowl I'm going to use for the, I'm going to oil this bowl. So let me put my dough down here, take this off the stand, and take some oil, and put some oil in this bowl. Some of the nice oil. Not that this, strictly speaking, matters. It's just, if it's touching a dough, my instincts are telling me nice oil, which is not necessarily correct. I could be wrong. But it honestly doesn't really matter. A lot of cooking is just instinct. Like, there are some lessons that you pick up along the way, but a lot of the fun is just going for it. Like, there are so many people who would totally enjoy cooking who don't because they just fear the unknown gets into them. You can't let it do that. You need to face the unknown and just see what it offers. Now my hand is all oily. That's gross. Let me just wash that really quick. Beautiful. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to grab some more tin foil, and I'm going to foil up this bowl so that we can get it all nice and self-contained. Beautiful. All right, awesome. So, I like to eat the cooked food. Yes, me too. All right, so this is going to go on my fridge as well. We're just collecting balls of dough in the fridge. I smell the garlic in the oven. Let us pull that out and see how it looks. Gonna move this. I'm actually gonna pour this water out because we don't need any more. We're done making dough, so we don't need any more. How long for it to rise? So the pizza dough rises in 2 steps. The first step is it goes for about 60 minutes. That allows it to do its initial rise, and then it rises again for another 60 minutes, which is when it, well, basically you let it rise for 60 minutes, and then you cut it into breadstick shapes. Well, actually, no. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. So the pizza dough will rise for 60 to 90 minutes. That will allow, which means we're a little bit off track. Hopefully it'll be more towards the 60 minutes. It's warm in the apartment, and I'm using good yeast, so it shouldn't take. It should take quicker than the thing says. But anyway, so. Ooh, wow. Okay. That is spectacular. But anyway, yeah. So it's going to rise for about 60, maybe 70 minutes. The breadstick dough, which has been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to let it go for about 15 more minutes. And then that will actually roll out the dough. We'll divide it into little breadstick shapes, put it on a tray, and then let that rise again for a bit longer so that it'll poof up even more. Because you want the really, really light, airy breadstick texture. That's what we're going for. Okay, I'm just going to put this here so I don't lose it. We have our garlic. It is garlic does really weird stuff when it cooks. So we're just gonna take some of the stuff off the top here. I'm actually gonna let these cool for a bit because I don't want to burn my hands too badly. Essentially, we're gonna let it go down to about room temperature, and then you just squeeze out all of the garlic goop into the butter, which means I need a bowl for butter. So let me figure out what bowl I'm going to use for that, and we will go from there. Okay. Perfect. I found a bowl. All right, we're going to use this for the butter. So I'm going to start by collecting some butter from my sticks that are over there. I'm thinking 3 sticks of butter will probably do it. 3 sticks of butter will probably do it. This has been sitting out, so it should be pretty soft. We're just going to take a spoon and we're just going to start creaming this. And as we cream it, it'll introduce more heat and it will get even more melty. Then when we add the garlic, it'll just continue to get meltier and meltier until everything is married together. Then I'll add some salt, a little bit of garlic powder so I get a little bit of that raw garlic flavor. And yeah, we'll go from there. I really like butter, if you can't tell. Butter is one of my favorite ingredients. I really, really love butter. Okay. Actually, let's do 2.5 sticks. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. I may end up making more, but I'll do it after the stream because I only really need to do enough for the stream right now. Just gotta smush it, carve it up a little bit, get it into nice smushed consistency. I'm sure there's a technical cooking term for this consistency, but I like the word smushed. It brings me joy to say the word smushed, so I will just say smushed. Get all smushed and ready. All right. Actually, what I might do, since the oven is still a little warm, actually, it's fine at 400. What I might do is I might take the whole bowl, and since it's a metal bowl and can take the oven, I might put it in there for just a minute or two, just to soften it up that additional bit. We don't want to melt it. We don't want a whole bunch of melty butter, but we do want a nice creamy butter, and that's easier if it's a little bit softer. Right now, it's just slightly harder than we would like. All right. Getting this butter off the spoon. I'm going to shove this in the oven for just a second. Just a second. Well, longer than a second, but a minute. It's 8:38 right now. At 8:39, I'm going to see where it's at. Stay hydrated, kids. All right. Well, anyway, the miracle of garlic is when you roast garlic, it ends up looking like this, which all of the sugars caramelize, and it just gets really, really sweet. And it just has a wonderful flavor to it. So essentially, you start peeling back the paper, and you burn your hands like I just did. That's important. Probably doing this. Actually, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to do that because I'm not gonna risk serious injury. We're doing fine for the pace. There's nothing to worry about. Okay. Perfect. We are doing just fine. All right, I'm excited because we get to look at the breadsticks soon. Actually, I'm gonna sneak a peek. You guys, actually, I'll let you guys see it as well. Ooh, okay. All right, this is good. Look at this. It has risen. It has risen. Oh, that is fantastic. And that is the perfect texture too. You can't really tell, but it's so light and fluffy. That's actually really, really good. So we're just going to let that go for just a little bit more, just a little bit, just a smidgen longer, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. The sauce is going, waiting for the garlic to cool, and soon we're going to be playing with some dough. So let me move my stations around. I bought a new wooden cutting board specifically so I could roll out dough. Unfortunately, when you live in an apartment, it's not very easy to have a nice place to roll out dough because countertops tend to be important real estate used for other stuff. So you kind of have to get a little creative. So I'm using this wooden cutting board that I will liberally apply flour to, and that should, in fact, do the trick. All right. So have my nice cutting board surface. First thing we do is we take some of our flour and we just apply some flour to the surface. And I'm just going to spread it around. This is so the dough does not stick to the cutting board. Also, the cutting board had a little bit of water on it. I'm actually have both these cutting boards above my sink because this is the orientation that the room worked the best with all this stuff. So there's a little bit of water on there, but it's not really that big a deal. The flour will just yoink all that moisture up into itself. So, all right, that's perfect. And I've got nice floury hands. That's absolutely perfect because now what we do is we pull our dough. Oh, look at this. That is just so airy. All right, so I don't have a bench scraper or something like that to cut it, so I'm just gonna start by dividing. I'm just gonna start with half. I'm gonna try to do 12. That's my goal, is to do 12, which I think should not be incredibly hard. So that's 4. And that means each one of these needs to be divided in 3. I should have started with thirds. That would have been easier, because it's much easier to divide something in fourths than thirds at this juncture. Actually, I'm second-guessing myself. I don't think I can make 12 breadsticks with this. This is not that much. This doesn't seem like that much dough. Maybe it just didn't rise the full amount yet. I don't know. These might be a little denser than I wanted. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do 8. We're gonna do 8 breadsticks. We're gonna do 8 breadsticks because these did not rise quite as much as I was hoping. So we're just going to make nice little breadstick shapes. Just gonna curl these underneath so that they get all nice and. All right, so that is 1. I'm not too worried about having it be the perfect size. Oh, that's. There we go. I'm not too worried about these being like a perfect shape. Like they don't need to be perfect, because like they'll still taste really, really good, even if there's like cracks or whatever. Not really that big a deal. Okay, that is 2. All right, and then this is 3. Practicing counting right now. This is 4. I'm going quickly, so I'm not really worried about them being too even in terms of how they look. They'll still taste fantastic, and I can smooth them a little bit when they're done rising. It's not really that big a deal. 4, 5. That is 5, 6. I'm just listening to the sauce behind me simmer. Well, it's got a little bit of a boil at the bottom of the pan, but towards the top it's a simmer, so I will live with that. That is fine. Also, I am trying to get the maximum amount of water, so as long as it just doesn't go too overboard, it should be fine. Okay, and then that's 7. And then this, my friends, is 8. I'm probably gonna have to elongate these at some point, but for now they should be fine. All right, so I'm actually going to repurpose the tray that I used for the garlic. I'm going to put the garlic on this plate that I have, and then I'm going to put the I'm going to put the breadsticks on this garlic thing, because they didn't really make any mess on the tinfoil at all. And what little mess they did isn't going to hurt anything, so I'm just gonna put these on the tray, which has gotten hot because it was on the stove. Imagine that, the stove heats things. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, these will go elsewhere for a little bit so they can do their second rise. And while they are doing that, let's see if our garlic has cooled enough to touch. I think it has. So let's go ahead and start our garlic butter. Oh, shit. Well, that's unfortunate. I completely forgot about the butter in the oven. Oh, shit. Welcome, Nashif. It's good to see you. Good to see you too, Charlie. Sorry, it took me a second. Well, anyway, I was trying to keep my butter from melting, and look what happened. So that's a goof. I think what we'll end up doing is we'll just put this to the side and we'll let it solidify, and then we'll essentially approach the correct texture from the other direction now. Instead of introducing heat, we'll just wait for heat to dissipate, and we'll go from there. All right. So we continue. For those of you who just guest star Obed. Now Obed, my roommate, is busy doing things and stuff, so we'll let him do that. But anyway, for those of you who just entered I cannot speak today. For those of you who just entered the stream today, we are making Stromboli. That is kind of like a calzone, but not really. Oh, thanks, man. It's actually my first ponytail ever. I really didn't want to do it, but I wanted to make sure that the food didn't have any hair in it or anything like that. Well, anyway, we're making Stromboli, which is kind of like a calzone, but better. Showing you the recipe. We are making Stromboli, which means we're making the dough from scratch. So that's the pizza dough you see there. We are making marinara sauce from scratch, which that is simmering behind me on the stove in my Dutch oven. I'm sure we'll see the stove cam again, and we'll get a look at that. I'll probably update you guys about how it looks in a second. And then we're also making homemade breadsticks, because why not? We love breadsticks. Breadsticks are great. Oh, welcome, Isaac. Good to see you. And we're shooting for food to be ready at 10:15. Right now, we're about 15 minutes behind the pace. You know how that goes. Yeah. All right. Actually, let me show you guys how the sauce is turning out. Some of you who are just joining missed a little bit of a thing, but not apparently. What we did is I allowed my chat to decide whether or not I had to put a bunch of cayenne in the sauce, which I did. They managed to scrounge together the necessary amount of channel points to mess with me, so this is how it looks. It's looking pretty good. It's just very, very gently simmering, and it will continue to do so right up until the end of the stream when we eat it. So that's a little bit of a sneak preview. It'll continue to sweat down as time goes on, and eventually we'll have a nice tight sauce. All right. Let me move. Actually, this is fine where it is because we're not making any more dough. We just finished the dough. Where's Ho-Dog? He's busy. He's busy doing his own thing right now. All right, let's just switch back. All right, there we go. Perfect. Well, anyway, let me consult our recipe and make sure that we are at the proper place. We were going to be making garlic butter, but unfortunately I managed to let the butter melt because I got the idea of, hey, let's put it in the 400-degree oven and try to soften it. Soften turned to melted, so that's a bummer, but it doesn't matter. We'll be fine. Yeah, so we are right on pace for everything. Right now, we are just waiting for the butter to solidify, and then we'll keep going. How's everyone doing in the chat? How are things? I'm doing really, really good. This is my first cooking stream, which it'll be really interesting seeing how these progress into the future. I'm kind of learning as I go, like kind of the ebb and flow of how things are supposed to go. I've gotten pretty good at planning recipes over the years. I've got a lot of experience making food for people, but doing it on stream has been a little bit of an interesting step, and I'm really happy that you guys are here in the chat to watch my journey as I start here and progress to who knows where. Streaming cooking, and on some days of the week, Call of Duty. Speaking of my streaming schedule, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, today's Tuesday, most of you know that, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream cooking, and then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm playing video games. Wednesday and Friday, I'm doing Call of Duty, and Monday, I typically play some Minecraft, although for the next couple of weeks, it's probably going to be Call of Duty. Son, did you manage? Yes, as a matter of fact. Yes, of course I did. But yeah, so next few weeks, we're going to be seeing a lot of Call of Duty. Tomorrow, we're actually streaming with Partovi. We're doing something kind of cool for the next few... We're about to do something fun for the next couple of months. We're going to be playing through every Call of Duty, starting from Call of Duty 1, the campaign, all the way to the new Call of Duties at the highest difficulty, which I'm kind of excited. I did some research, and there's actually an Xbox 360 port of Call of Duty 1. Call of Duty 1 was originally a Windows 98 exclusive, but it ended up getting ported to the Xbox 360. So I'm really hoping the controls are the same, just so I don't get mixed up. Because, those of you who were here yesterday saw me play video games. Like, it's fine, but it is, it's interesting. All right, so that is enough dillying and enough dallying. While we wait for our butter to congeal, let's play with some garlic. So I have had this garlic cooling because it has been in the very, very hot oven for about 40 minutes. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to... can you do a stream and play Wii Sports Resort? I could, actually. I could. I do in fact, have a Wii. I don't have Wii Sport Resort, but I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to find. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Or I might do a video of it. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I might do a video of it. On top of all the streams that I'm doing, I also put out approximately a video a week. I put out a video that most of you have probably seen it, hopefully, about making this ridiculous cake that I've been working on for the better part of 4 years. So that's doing really well. I'm really, really happy with how my community has reacted to that video. I do have a Wii. I do actually have a Wii. I'm missing some cables, but I do have one of the original Wiis. Just yes, in fact I will. Absolutely. All right, let's just gather up all this paper. That's the only annoying thing with garlic. I love the taste of garlic. Garlic tastes great, but breaking it down is somewhat of a chore from time to time. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and use the melted butter because it doesn't matter. When it congeals, it'll all manage to work out. So yeah, taking roasted garlic and extracting is kind of like popping a pimple. Essentially, they're all little pockets of just goop. Yeah, so you just kind of pop the pimple into the bowl, and yeah. It is gross looking, but I promise you it tastes fantastic. It may look a little odd, but just trust me. It'll taste fantastic. All right. Let that get all good. Now we just do that a whole bunch of times. I'm probably just going to do 1 or 2 bulbs for now. Like I said before, I'm probably going to do the rest of it a little bit later, just so all of you don't have to see me pop all these little garlic things. Also, another bad thing about this, your hands get really, really, really sticky. Which is why it's important to make sure this stuff cools, because if it doesn't, then you can have sticky, burning garlic on your fingers, which is not good. That's not very cash money. We don't like that. We don't like that one bit. All right, let's continue to break down this garlic. Yeah, garlic is a miracle in nature. It's fantastic. Can't go wrong with garlic. All right. This garlic actually remained pretty whole in the center. That's fine. Looks like the garlic's in the... Since Charlie is allergic. Allergic to what? Garlic? He's not allergic to garlic. I doubt he's allergic to garlic. If that is something you are if that is something you're fine sharing, I would be very interested in hearing more about your garlic allergy, because that's a new one. I've never heard of a garlic allergy. That's a shame. I love garlic. Oh, to nuts. Where can I redeem my channel points? So, to answer your question, ways that you can redeem your channel points. So I'm still writing some functionality, some additional functionality, additional ways that you can redeem, but the ways that you can redeem as of right now, well, there's two different ways essentially on this stream at this moment. So one thing that you can do, usually when the chat is going much faster, this is a little bit more relevant. But if you have something you want me to read, like guarantee that I'll read it. Sometimes I miss chats, sometimes I don't. But if the chat's going really fast and there's something that you really want to get my attention with, you can use your channel points to get my attention and ask any question you desire. But right now, that's not really, strictly speaking, necessary. The chats are coming in at a fairly lackadaisical pace, so I don't really have to worry about that. But another way you can do it is if the SpiceBomb is active, which unfortunately we already triggered that for this stream. This influx of people just missed it, unfortunately. That was how we determined that I was going to put a crap load of spice into my sauce. If we were doing the SpiceBomb, then you guys would be able to use that to contribute towards the community goal. Other than that, when I'm playing Call of Duty, not now, obviously, because while this does superficially have things in common with Call of Duty, in a way, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I actually allow people to choose which guns that I'm using from time to time, and you use your channel points to do that. It allows you to vote in polls and basically choose, okay, am I going to get to use the good guns or the bad guns? Okay. All right, love that. Tesla, actually. Don't get me wrong, I love what Microsoft is doing, but Elon Musk is the future, man. That guy gets my ultimate respect. He is one of the few people who is propelling the human race and advancing the human race in a forward direction, as opposed to just kind of like allowing things to stagnate. Like, he continues to push stuff. Please respond. I responded. Tesla. I got the Tesla microchip. All right, continuing to extract garlic. Okay, it is 8:57. We are. Oh, indeed, absolutely. He's a visionary, man. He is the future. All right, continuing to extract garlic. I'm also going to take a look at the pizza dough soon, because that is probably getting close. He's a part of the Illuminati. I have not heard that. I don't think so. If there is such an organization, they definitely have him on their radar. Like, they definitely are interested in what he's doing. But I very much doubt that, with the amount that he posts on social media and how much he's out in the open, I doubt it. If there is indeed scary clandestine organizations plotting all of our lives for their own gain, he probably doesn't have a seat at the table, because we probably don't know who those people are. All right, guys, let's try not to get too political in the chat. All right, let's try not to get too political in the chat. Trying to keep things lighthearted and fun, but let's keep this as a non-political place as much as possible. That's real. I don't have a lot of chat rules other than just like the basic be a nice human being, but let's try to keep things. Bohemian Grove. Where on earth is Bohemian Grove? Oh, some people think it's political. Like, personally, I think it's just it's whatever. But like, there are some people who take that stuff seriously. I would very much prefer to. That's not the kind of stuff I want to talk about on the stream. Just so that things can. And granted, it's just not really demonetized. We'll see. We'll see if I get demonetized. I doubt it. I'll probably be fine. I'm not too worried about that. Honestly, this stream isn't really demonetized anyway, because if you have been here for a while, you have noticed I have not exactly been careful with my wonderful 5-letter or 4-letter curse words. My mixer almost fell off the counter a little while ago, and I jumped about 6 feet and screamed the F word. Well, scream's not really the right one. I exclaimed the F word. So, this stream is probably already demonetized. But I will probably cut this into a video at some point where I'll be a little more careful and censor some stuff so that I will get that sweet, sweet monetization that no one on YouTube really gets anymore because of the adpocalypse. But it's fine. There's a 6-letter word. Six. Ah, yes, that one. Let's not use that one. That one bad. I just forget about that one because it's just like, okay, there are curse words which are fun to say. I am a huge cursing enthusiast. I have been for a long time, and I will continue to be into the future. But there's some words you just don't say. Like, there are words for polite society, and then there's that. That's an artifact of a much, much uglier period of time, and we don't need to say that. There's really no reason. All right, let us continue into the future. Oh, for those of you who haven't seen it, I figure I'll just, while I continue to do garlic, I'll let all of you new people see this. Here is my channel intro. Yeah, I'm very proud of that. I spent some time and some tender loving care with my drawing pad and my Photoshop on my computer, and that's what popped out. Although, as usual, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, if any of you have any suggestions for what you think you would like, what you would rather see on the stream, or like, thanks, Isaac, I appreciate that. But anyway, if anyone has any suggestions about what they think I could be doing better, like how things are, feel free to let me know. Like I read every comment. I really enjoy getting feedback. This is something that I'm proud of and something I want to continue to get better at. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to throw them out there. I really appreciate feedback. I'm a big boy. We don't need to say kind feedback, but just useful, constructive criticism is nice. All right, my hands are just completely soiled at this point. Garlic is just, I love the taste of garlic, but it's just so deeply annoying to deal with. Blech, gross. All right, we're just waiting about 15 minutes. I get to start looking at the pizza dough and evaluating where it is at. Can you do an OA? If I knew what that was, then I would, but I don't, so I'm not. If you care to explain more, then maybe. Yeah, if y'all have been noticing, so you end up getting points for several different ways. One of the easiest ways to get points is just posting in the chat. No idea what that says. I don't speak Russian. Another way that you can actually get points is something that I do is every once in a while I'll throw a trivia question out there and ask everyone, okay, so let's do a trivia question. So, those of you who know me, fine. Those of you who know me in real life can probably answer this. Those of you who are in the stream, I actually talked about this earlier. First person to type in my favorite spice into the chat will get a huge stack of channel points. It's live now. Feel free to throw out answers. My favorite spice. Those of you who know me know the answer already. I did actually say it early on in the stream. I figured that would be a common answer. It is not, in fact, butter or cayenne. Cinnamon's a great guess, Isaac. I do love me some cinnamon, but it is not cinnamon. Chipotle chili, that is a fantastic guess. That's my second favorite spice. Alcohol, nice. Nice. I actually got some new scotch yesterday. I had a really good stream and I wanted to celebrate, so I picked up... Ooh, okay. There we go. Let's... Peruvian puff pepper. My lord. Spicy. Wait, I'm confused. One sec. Wait, let me just double check this here. I am confused. Because one of you said the right answer, but my code didn't work. Why is that? Oh, I know why. I asked the second trivia question. Okay. That's embarrassing. All right. We're going to go back in time before I ask that trivia question and ask a different one because someone did get the right answer, but the wrong trivia question was active. Oh, thanks, Alex. I'm Alex too. So the first question, and this is a little bit. I know it's different. I messed that up a little bit. Let's try this again. What is the angle of tilt? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Cole. I goofed it. Hey, this is my first cooking stream. I got garlic all over my fingers. I'm still figuring this out. I'm still making this work. Well, anyway, trivia question. First person to type this in the chat. What is the tilt of the Leaning Tower of Pisa in degrees? Yes, that is my first name. My name is Alex. When you hear me stream with Justin or what was the answer? I mean, I'm not gonna say what the answer is because I'm just gonna activate the next trivia question after someone gets this right. All right, less than 90 is correct, but I am looking for the exact number to 2 decimal places. I'll give you a hint. It is not an integer. It is a decimal number. It has 2 decimal places. And if you Google it, it is the first thing that pops up, because that's actually how I got the answer for this trivia question. A little bit of a hint there. All right, anyone who's put more than 10, imagine if the building is that tilted. Like, just imagine that. It's actually a transcendental number. No, it terminates. 2 decimal places. All right, you're really close, Ryan. You're really, really close. Is not greater than 5. Is not greater than 5. Okay, Nashif, you're even closer. Nashif is the closest person that I have seen. Nope, now you're getting away from it. There we go. Good job, Cole. The answer is 3.99. So I'm just going to jump right in and all right, it's only the first person, so congrats, Cole. You are smart. I managed to goof it up myself. But congrats, Cole. Have a whole bunch of channel points. When I stream tomorrow with Partovi, you can stick us with the worst guns imaginable now. Well, anyway, since I already spoiled the second trivia question, I'll just activate it right now. What is my favorite spice? One of you did type in the correct answer. One of you did type in the correct answer. I can tell you that for certain. I'm going to wash my hands really quick because this is gross. You know what? I'll even give you a hint. It is a single word. It is not cheesecake. Cheesecake is not a spice. All right, Cole's just winning everything right now. Although that one's more impressive because you can't... What the hell is transreverbetrol? No, it is not cayenne, and cayenne is spelled with an E. Is Cayenne. Me for men. Yes, as a matter of fact, that is my favorite spice. You guessed it. Congrats. Okay, so, you know what? I might stir this up a little bit. Cole is getting up there in the channel points. I don't have like a bow top function which allows you to see everyone, but not bad. Not bad at all. Although Rivera, keep in mind you lost a lot of channel points when you did the spice poll. There is no rankings yet. I'll implement that probably this weekend if I'm not too busy on the camping trip that I'm doing. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna shove this in the freezer really fast just to get this to solidify faster. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Making sure I'm not dumping that over everything else. Also making sure I don't disturb all of my roommate's organ meat. He has a lot of organ meat in there. And I don't want to get any butter on it or he might get mad at me. I will. I definitely will. Like I said, all of these systems that I've been coding and making for this channel, like all of the overlays and everything, they're all works in progress. And I'm totally looking for feedback for everything that I do. So if you have any suggestions, now is a great time to say it. Like, this is literally my second stream ever, my first cooking stream. So anything that I see, which I really like, I'll use. And really cool thing is all of you who are in the chat, all of you who watch my videos and just, you guys get to see me go on this journey from where I'm at now to wherever I'm going in the future. So it's really cool. You get to follow along. All right, pizza dough. It is time for the pizza dough. Just put that down there. Ooh, that did rise. Thank God. How do I use a try data structure to make a spell checker? What is a oh, oops, did I just do that? Okay. All right, that's fine. Let's make a dictionary spell checker. Yes, Rhea, I could definitely do that. What's a try data structure? I have no idea. Will Kyle ever be in a cooking stream? Actually, yeah, he's going to. He's actually. He might be in the cooking stream on Thursday. We're going. I'm cracked at Fortnite. I'm sure you are. Good for you. That wasn't meant to sound that sarcastic, but anyhow, shoot, what was I saying? Yeah, Kyle will probably be here on Thursday. We're going to be making probably some breakfast stuff, also some banana bread. I have a couple banana bread recipes I'm interested in trying, and he'll probably be here on Thursday, which is gonna be super cool. I love playing with Kyle. It's a lot of fun playing with Kyle. All right, so we got our dough. It's all nice and huge. Jumper. Huh. I don't get the reference. You guys should help me out here. All right. Although I'm going to reflour my work surface because this dough is still all oily, and I want to make sure that oh, I know what you guys are talking about. All right. Let me reflour my work surface because all of the garlic introduced a ton of moisture, and you don't want the dough to stick, especially since I'm going to be rolling out the dough. All right. Let's roll out some flour. This is getting awfully suggestive, but sure. All right, let's just flour this. Actually, before we flour it, I'm going to be making 2 Stromboli if I have time. If I am continue to run short on time, I'll just do the one and freeze the dough for later use. All right, get a lot of flour. Perfect. Pizza dough is interesting. It's kind of weird. You let it rise and you let it do its thing, and then you smush it down to get all the air out, which is really weird. If anyone knows anything about pizza dough, feel free to throw that down in the chat why that is, because I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with texture. It's just kind of weird. Okay, where's my rolling pin? There's my rolling pin. All right. Roll this out nice and big. I'm shooting for a rough rectangle so that I can roll this up nice. I don't really want to cut off ends if I can help it. All right. Let us see how we can get this. All right. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Not too shabby. Actually, it's a little narrow over here. Let's just get this nice and wide. And then soon we get to put on toppings. I'm really excited for that. But first, let me get my garlic butter mixture, which has, in fact, started to set up. It still looks a little strange, but it's fine. Just going to take that. I'm going to take my garlic butter mixture, which I really should run through like a food processor, but I don't really want to right now. So I'm just going to let there be some garlic chunks. It's still going to be really good. But anyway, let that do its thing there. And then let me grab my parsley. Strange rectangle. See, I'm not much of a geometrist. I don't really care about geometry too much, so it's fine. You'll see, you'll still be fine. All right, I'm going to continue to let this set even further. It's getting to kind of where I want it to be, but it's still very liquidy. While this continues to set up, I'm going to make my egg wash. Basically what you do when you're making a Stromboli or like a crescent or something like that, or anything with a filling, what you want to do is I think I just got flour over my face. I keep trying to, my ponytail is degrading over time, because this is the only time I've ever made a ponytail. All right, yeah, I was saying something. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, while we're doing that, I am going to make my egg wash, which is really, really simple. Really, really, really easy. You just crack a couple of eggs, and then you whisk it up. And that's egg wash. Sometimes people put more stuff in egg wash, but you really don't need it. It's kind of a necessary step. I just give our egg a nice crack. That is one. One of these days I want to spend some time practicing like cracking an egg one-handed, just for the hell of it. All right, and then that's two. Then let's grab a fork and fork this thing. All right. Beautiful. A whisk would probably be better than a fork, but my whisk is, I actually have started to lose some of the tines off the whisk. Like the little metal pieces, they're almost gone. Which is, in fact, a bummer. It's fine though. I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, all right. While I'm doing this, I actually am going to activate the last trivia question. I set up 3 before I started the stream because I figured it'd be a good number, and you guys seem to enjoy it. So let's hit the third one. This is a question that will definitely be better for the people who watched me yesterday. I played some zombies. Question for the chat. What was the weapon that I played with for the longest amount of time on the stream yesterday? Spelling spelling matters, but it's, those of you who know, it's not a hard thing to spell. All right, so first little layers, we take some of our garlic butter with our parsley, and we throw it down onto our vaguely rectangular shape. It is getting sufficiently goopy. I'm happy about that. We're going to throw this down, and then we're going to put our fillings, which I have salami, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese. The recipe kind of calls for cheese slices. I didn't bother because my deli was actually closed when I went, because, you know, COVID this, COVID that, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's my garlic butter mixture. Now, let me grab the meat. Got some salami. I'll probably start with that. Ravioli. Where is the formuoli? For what, precisely? For what are you looking for the recipe? Formuoli to what? I will wait for an answer, because I need more information. Your question is vague. All right, so now we just kind of shingle this with salami. I didn't buy that much salami because I usually overdo the fillings for things like this. So I'm going to do, oh wow, that's actually not as much as I thought it would be. All right, so we're just going to do roughly half. Abandoning the shingle pattern, we're just going to spread that out. And then pepperoni, we can do a lot more. I need to open this so we can proceed. I'm not going to do half the pepperoni because that'd be kind of ridiculous, but I will do a good amount. I just want to get enough coverage so that I have a pocket of meat to contain the cheese. Don't want the cheese to escape. Okay, so we just shingle away. God, this smells so good. And I just smell the sauce behind me. It's been driving me crazy this entire time because I just smell this wonderful sauce with just a little bit of cayenne in there. Thanks, Rivera. That is fine. That is fine. Did you finish the coma cake or did you toss it? I ended up tossing about half. We got halfway through, about 35,000 of the 68,000 calories. Yeah, I hate to lose it, but you can only eat so much coma cake by yourself. It's kind of tricky. Like, I was probably having about 1 to 2 slices a day, and that wasn't great for my that wasn't great for my health, but I did it for science, and let's just say I don't need any more coma cake for a while. just no. All right, let's continue to shingle this. Get this all nice and covered so that we can add the cheese. I'm probably just going to do the one for the sake of time. I'll freeze the rest of the dough and maybe turn in like a breadstick or like garlic knots later on. How many calories per day of cake is that? So each slice is somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000 calories. So, or actually, no, because some of the slices were smaller. It was at least 2,000 or 3,000 calories per slice. No, I mean per day. Per day, I mean. So yeah, way too much. That is way too much. So yeah, not good. Not good. Although luckily I do get a decent amount of exercise. When my walk to work is about 1.5 miles from where I'm at, undisclosed location, wherever. So I get a nice 30 to 60 minutes of walking in every day, which is nice. That does help, especially when you're consuming something like that. All right, let me open up the cheese. Some nice low moisture mozzarella. It might melt a little weird because it's not sliced or anything. It's actually shredded. And when you get cheap shredded mozzarella or other cheese like this, it'll you're technically right, but what's the actual name of it? But yeah, when you use shredded cheese like this, they typically put anti-caking agents in there to make it so it doesn't all stick together when you try to use it, which in most cases is fine, but when you're relying on it melting, sometimes it can do weird stuff. But it's fine. Like I said, my deli was closed. Normally I'd go with slices. This is fine though. This will turn out okay. Eat coma cake and whiskey. Healthy diet? Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. Healthy in, healthy out, man. I'm just living my best life over here. All that being said, I have actually been eating a lot healthier than normal. Been eating a lot of veggies. I made a bunch of nachos the other day, which have quite a few. The amount of veggies in there is actually pretty substantial. So I've been trying to eat a fairly complete diet. All right. Now, do I have any brushes? Okay, I have that brush, but I don't want to use that. What did Obed do with the... So I'll give you a hint. There used to be a rug. I mean, I could, but you didn't get the right answer. If you get the right answer, the system will give you the points. But you did not, in fact, get the correct answer. Need to type it in correctly. But yeah, no, due to the, well, I had a rug, now I don't. That's what he did with the body. If you need to know any more than that, I will allow other people in the chat to educate you. All right, so we just continue to egg wash the corners. This is so it seals up nicely. My oven is still at 400, which is great because that's exactly the temperature it needs to be at. Perfect, perfect, perfect. 5 pounds of nachos with 2 pounds of veggies? Kind of. It was more like, I mean, it was 10 total pounds of nachos because I had it for, it was several days of nachos. So it was 10 pounds of nachos, probably about 4 pounds of that was veggies. And then it was probably like another 3 pounds of meat, and then the rest was like chips and cheese. What veggies? So I used, if you know what hothouse peppers are, they're essentially, they're they're related to, that is not correct. So they're related to bell peppers, and I used a whole bunch of those, like a couple of pounds of those, and then I also used tomatoes, a whole bunch of Roma tomatoes, and then jalapenos. All right, so now the extra tricky part, which is just rolling this thing up. All right. And you want to fold the corners inward, which looks a little strange, and it is, but that is how you do it. My technique is not the best. Never has been, never will be. The lack of classical training has quite a bit to do with that. Kalashnikov? No, I actually did not use the Kalashnikov at all yesterday. I was playing Black Ops 2 Zombies, and there's only a single Black Ops 2 Zombies map that the Kalashnikov is on. Although, when I put out my video that I shot with Partovi the other day, you will see the Kalashnikov, because I used that. I don't think one could argue that. I think so. I mean, are deep-fried tortillas really that bad for you? All right, that's pretty straight. So we're just going to rotate this over. That's actually beautiful. All right, nice tubular shape. And then let me get my sharpest knife. There we go. Get the sharp knife. Please be sharp enough. There we go. And then we just put some slits in there. This is so it cooks correctly, also so it doesn't blow up in the oven. I used to not do this because I'm like, it's a cosmetic thing. It can't be that big an issue. It actually makes a difference. I wish it didn't, but it does. Okay, my one baking tray has all of my breadsticks on it, so we'll not touch that. Let me grab another baking tray, and we'll get this thing in the oven. Put the little pot there. All right, got my baking tray. A little bit overkill for this. No, it's not a calzone. It's a Stromboli. Stromboli are better. Calzones are good, but they're not Stromboli. All right, let's get this big thing in here, and then we're just going to go ahead and egg wash all the rest, which I should have egg washed it before I put the slits in, but hindsight is 20/20. It's fine. It's fine. We're living life. Living life. How did the kimchi turn out a few months ago? It turned out great. I actually still have a whole bunch of it in my fridge because kimchi doesn't really spoil ever. I still eat some of it every once in a while. Granted, I didn't. So back when I made the kimchi, I was doing the keto diet, the ketogenic diet, which is basically really low carb, and kimchi is extremely low carb. So no, it's not a calzone, it's a Stromboli. Calzones are crescent shaped and typically filled with sauce. There is a difference. Also, in calzones, you don't typically have these slits. That's another difference. Also, the way you eat it is very different. You'll see it when it comes out because I'll actually be slicing down the length of the Stromboli to eat it, and then you eat the slices essentially. You don't take this whole thing and dump it in sauce. You cut it into slices and you dip the slices, which is cool. I'm gonna, you know what? New rule. As of next stream, I can't really do this on the fly now, but next stream I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna make calzone banned in my chat. Okay. Okay. Those of you who are looking forward to seeing my roommate, I don't know if you noticed that, but he is now come and gone. He was in fact there. Now he is gone. Okay.
I needed this for my lab.
No, it's fine. No biggie. All of the people in chat were looking to see you. The things I'm going to do with this calzone, man, I'm hungry. I ate before the stream, but being around all of this good food has just been, it's been murderous. Although, any of you who, later, man, later. Although, any of you who actually, who I know IRL, who are in my area, if any of you want to come over and eat food, because there will be food available, please come over. Like, this apartment is well, as long as it is less than the safe limit, which I'm sure it will be. If anyone wants to come over, go for it. All right. That goes for the people who know me in real life. I'll wait for some of the other people in here who I don't know in real life to get to know better. Maybe someday. Do like a meetup or something. Yeet. Oh, you guys did? Good. $5 footlong? Yeah, that's probably about $5 of ingredients. Yeah. All right, let's put this thing in the oven. All right. Cool. Let's switch back to the other view so that y'all can see, or actually, just beautiful. All right, awesome. Someday I'll have oh. We'll see. Well, no, Alex is going to go to bed early. I know Alex. He's not. Rhea, don't worry about it. Okay. All right, let's sneak a peek at the breadsticks, see how they're doing. Because it's almost time for them to go into the oven. Almost. That does make sense. All right, well, these are proceeding nicely. They haven't poofed up quite as much as I was hoping. But they are, in fact, roughly what I was hoping they would be. I'm going to let them continue to proof. Can you make some pizza without yeast? Why? What's wrong with yeast? I mean, I could. Why would I... What's wrong with yeast? Oh, you need some kosher options. Is yeast not kosher? Someone here can educate me. Is yeast not kosher? Huh, I did not know that. Okay, I can't make any. Unfortunately, all the dough I made has yeast in it because it's all a yeasted dough. It rises and all that stuff. But I can throw something together that's kosher. I'm versatile. Well, anyway, since I'm a little bit ahead on time, and I'm gonna let the breadsticks continue to do their thing. There's pepperoni. That is true. Yeah, and salami, and yeah. But I can do non-kosher stuff. That's not a problem. All right, let me. I'm gonna flour my work surface again, and I have time. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make the second one. Screw it. Why not? All right. Get plenty of flour on my work surface. Ignore the big sharp knives. Sure. All right. Get that out of my hands so that I can... No, bad, no, wrong, false, no. All right, smash that down to get all the air out because that is actually a thing. All right, there's actually a trivia question currently. Oh no, where's your whiskey? Off camera. Like I said, I'll probably be enjoying some of that before I go to sleep later. And anyone who wants to join me, Please, go for it. All right. No, not today. Not right now, anyway. I'm busy. I've got my hands all dirty. It's not worth it. Also, I don't... what is the trivia question? Okay. No, I'm not donating the drink. It's not that kind of stream. Maybe another one. Maybe some other... maybe some other stream I'll do like a drunk stream or something. Like a try complete an Easter egg and have you guys try to stop me with stuff. But for now, no. But the trivia question... So the trivia question was, what was the gun that I used the most on the stream yesterday? It was geared towards people who were in the stream when it happened. But, no. I told you no, not now. But I'll give a hint to those of you who, what is the trivia question? The trivia question is, what gun did I use the most yesterday during yesterday's stream? I'll give you a hint. I was playing Black Ops 2. I was playing the map Buried, so that gives you the list of guns if you know to look at the wiki. And I will tell you that it is not a good gun, and it's one of my very least favorite guns in general. It's a fun gun, but it's not good. It's not good. Oh, and it's explosive. You know what? I'll make it super easy. Make it super easy. It's an explosive gun that is decent, but not good enough for me to like. Can you make a TikTok? I do actually have a TikTok. Despite what you may see on the news, Ryan, AR-15s are not explosive. Grenade? Not really a gun, but you're in the right direction. It's kind of a grenade. Kind of. Oh, bring some work tomorrow. I have... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Alex, definitely. Totally. Foldable backs. No. Yet. ABC. Yes, that does make sense. that does make a lot of sense, Ryan. All right. Let's get some more garlic butter down on there. Garlic butter is firming up nicely. I appreciate you too, Rivera. You are fantastic. A salt pizza. Yes. No, but if it were an assault pizza, I would like it. That would be effective. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. Okay, now we start again with salami. All right. We might actually finish perfectly on time. We're shooting for food to be ready at 9:15, and we are actually going to be really, really close. Need more butter? Nah, this is a good amount of butter. Wait until you see what I do to the breadsticks. There's going to be tons of butter on there. That probably sounded weird out of context. All right. Perfect. Okay. And then pepperoni. I lost the pepperoni. Where did they go? Ah, they're behind me. Good, good, good. Awesome. Grab some pepperoni. Gosh, I'm so hungry. Throw down in the chat, salami or pepperoni? Salami or pepperoni? I gotta say salami. Some people say pepperoni. I'm genuinely curious what the makeup my audience is on this issue. Important issue. That's actually, well, that's not a gun, and it's good. And it's the gun that I used the most time, and that is something you only get 3 of. So it probably wasn't the. Okay, okay, not a weapon, but sure, you're along the right track, Charlie. All right. We are getting close. I'll give you one further hint. This is your final hint. It is of Soviet design. Can I pay in another way? I'm not going to answer that question. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm curious to see if Charlie will get it. I've given you enough hints, Charlie. I think you got this. Oh, Charlie, also, you'll be interested to know, the stream yesterday, I started with the Origins Easter egg, but looking at chat made me just distracted enough to not get all the way through. So I ended up playing another map for most of it, which was very, very sad. Ryan, you are a man of culture. I was not even throwing prosciutto into this, but absolutely agree. Prosciutto is the win. When I make pasta, you guys will see some prosciutto because I realized if you fry up some prosciutto and put it in the pasta, whatever pasta it is, it doesn't matter what type of pasta it is, it's better, always better. It does not matter what type. But yeah, you guys will definitely see that because with my KitchenAid, I'm actually going to be making some fresh pasta later on in future streams, and I'm super jazzed for that because making fresh pasta is really, really fun if you have the right tools. If you don't have the right tools, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But if you have the right tools, it is a blast. It is absolutely a blast. Yeah, I'm starting the research for a video for it's actually kind of pasta related. Essentially what I'm doing is I am making a whole bunch of different types of ravioli with different types of cheese. I'm going to go to the cheese section at my local supermarket, and I'm just going to buy as many different types of cheeses as my wallet will allow, and I'm going to see which cheeses work best in ravioli. I'm just going to make like one or two of like each type, and then I'll probably maybe throw some food dye or something into the ravioli dough so I can tell which one is which. Galil is not an explosive weapon. Good try though. I love the Galil. Galil is fantastic. Galil is an assault rifle. That is also an assault rifle. This is an explosive weapon of Soviet design. The Galil is Israeli, so it's not the Galil, and the hammer is fictional. The ray gun is not of Soviet design. Despite what the Soviets would tell you, it is not. Okay. Let me start to egg wash this. We are making moves here, people. We are making moves. Ray gun Mark II is technically an explosive weapon. It is not of Soviet design, and it is not the answer. Because I said it was not a very good gun. And the Ray gun Mark II, if you know anything about Call of Duty, that is a good gun. That is not classified as a bad gun by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe the Ray gun Mark I. You can make arguments for the Ray gun Mark I not being fantastic. Son, I'm just Googling guns. All right, Charlie, I'll point you in the right direction. So if you want to find the list of guns for the map that I played, which is buried, go to callofduty.wiki and go to buried, and then click on the weapons tab, and that will send you to the right place. All right, let's see if I can manage this. The other one turned out really, really pretty. I'm hoping I can not futz this one up too badly. Come on, you son of a bitch. Live! Live, damn it! Okay. Alright, we're just gonna ease that forward a little bit. I want you to live! I command you to live! Okay. Now we'll just fold in this edge. Probably should egg wash this corner a little more, but it's fine. Just crimp some of these edges so that it all works. Okay. As you notice, I'm not very trained. Yes, indeed, pizza burrito. Although, I'm just going to say this because Nashif is in here. That one taco truck, or that one taco place, this burrito is much more functionally stable, even though it is somewhat fragile, than that taco place that he likes. Off the wall or mystery box? Mystery box. It is not a wall weapon. There are no explosive wall weapons. All right, let's flip this thing. And then I'm going to be smart and egg wash this ahead of time, because last time I egg wash it after the folds. All right, Scott, you snaked it away from Charlie. That's unfortunate. There we go. Took a while for someone to get it. Congrats. See, when you said bazooka, that's close, but my software looks for the exact. Oh, hello, Obed.
What's up? What is in this garlic?
That is roasted garlic, so it gets a little bit foopy. Also, if you want to interact with the chat in any way, the camera that they can see you in is that one.
I think I'm out of view right now.
No, you're very slightly in view. You're teasing all of the people in chat. They keep asking for you.
Well, if you want to see, they have wallets.
That's true. If any of you want to see Obed, his what's your OnlyFans link, Obed?
I'll drop it in the chat. You can also just make donations. We'll split them. Commission.
Does that make me your pimp?
I think I'm more of an independent contractor.
Fair enough. Very graceful. God, I was so worried that you're going to like yank my Ethernet or something. If the stream goes down inexplicably and the last thing you hear is a thunk and me to start to say a word that begins with F, is because Obed managed to knock the Ethernet cable out of either the router, the modem, or yes, that was Captain Jack Sparrow. Yes, it was. It indeed was. Although that makes me Will Turner, which I'm totally down for. Will's a badass, kind of, in the third movie. More than the other ones. Yeah, okay. Oh, Obed, they want to hear how much you like Italian food. They can't really hear what you can say, but I can convey in sanitized terms what you say. Obed has no opinion on Italian food. All right, there we go. That one is scored. I'm just going to leave that there for now because I'm going to get the breadsticks in the oven. We're in the final countdown, people. We are almost done. Although I'm going to check on the other Stromboli right now and see what it looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have an oven cam yet. It's on the to-do list. It's on the to-do list. I will indeed get an oven cam, just not for a while. Okay. Got a little bit of water on my cutting board. Let me fix that just in case I need to flour anything in the future. That is the only downside to this setup, is having the water next to the flour is just kind of down bad. It doesn't work. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's let that continue to do its thing. That needs a little bit more time. Do I have any more trays that are clean? I only have so many trays, unfortunately. At work. No, that will not. Unfortunately, I do not have any more trays, so this will remain where it's at. And yeah, we'll just keep going. Let's take a look at our... I'll give you my stimmy for your channel. I appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised, Charlie. I was about 30 minutes behind at one point. I managed to catch up. I'm kind of stoked. All right, let's take a look at the sauce. See how it's getting. All right. It's getting there. It looks a little weird right now just because of how, just because all of the distribution, but eventually, let's see, where's my stir stick? There's my stir stick. Let me just get my and I will try my best to stir it without making a mess again. Oh yeah, that's a winner. That is fantastic. Although those whole tomatoes, I might blend it or something before I. Damn it! That is deeply unfortunate. If y'all didn't see that on the camera, I just managed to get a whole bunch of stuff on my electric stove, which is it's a huge bummer. But that's fine. Essentially what we're going to do now, I'm just stirring it up to get anything that may be sticking to the bottom. when I serve this, I'll probably avoid getting any of the bigger tomato pieces. And then before I store this in my fridge for leftovers, I'll probably blend it so that I can get those tomatoes down to size. I won't like blend it too much, just enough to like rough chop it, so there's nothing too big. And they'll also break up the basil a little bit more, which is good. But the flavors of this should be really good, and I'm pretty happy with the consistency. Like, I mean, this big oil slick on the top makes it kind of hard to tell, but it looks good. I'm happy with that. Okay. All right. How many channel points to force? Is that curry? Kind of. So basically, God, I need a banned calzone. I could. I was actually working on my list of forbidden things today, and I left it somewhat blank because I didn't want to put anything too restrictive. But I'm gonna ban calzones. I'm telling you. So to answer the first question, love all that grease congealing in. Chapter dinner is going to be late. Yes. Okay, let's just answer all the stuff in order. Yes, Nashif, chapter dinner is going to be late. Ryan, yes, I'm going to mix that sauce. I just did. Charlie, love all the grease congealing at the top. Yes, so do I. That is just fine. That's actually decent because, well, I mean, it's fine. When I pull it off the stove and mix it, essentially the fat will be distributed against all of it. What a lot of people end up doing is they end up skimming off all of that fat when it finishes. No, you don't want to do that. You want it to get cool, and you want the fat to congeal with everything else, because that fat, that oil slick right there, is actually all of your flavor. So it's a lot of people make that mistake. Don't. If you make sauces, don't. Like, you want to actually make sure that all of that stays in there. All right, let's not. I sense a developing theme in this chat here, and let's keep this at a wholesome place. No, I was going to make apple dumplings, but I decided that for the sake of time and the sake of my sanity, I was going to push that to another stream, because it's too much work. I barely finished everything I have here by my time limit, so if I tried to make that additionally, I wouldn't make it. I would end up going to at least 11. And also, that's a lot of sugar to eat this late. Okay, sure. If you say so, my guy. All right, the Stromboli is looking good. I'd show you, but I don't want to open up the oven too much. Make apple dumplings? I'll make this deal for you. If you come over, I'll make apple dumplings. But I'm not going to do it on stream, not tonight. That would take too long. And I'm not trying to stream past 11. Because I have work tomorrow at very, very early times. Actually, I have a staff meeting tomorrow, so I need to be awake. Also, I get to clean up this wonderful mess. Okay, I'm going to eat a lot of Stromboli tonight, like a mythic amount of Stromboli, but sugar will just keep me up all night, and that's not good. Although I will drink like a gallon of milk, so I suppose, yes, I'm having that amount of sugar, just in a slightly different form factor. Although, if you want to see sugar, come back on Thursday's stream, because I'm doing breakfast foods, but when I do breakfast foods, it tend to fall on the more IHOP breakfast side of things, like in terms of, yes, and a big stove mess, as a matter of fact, yeah. That's not gonna be that hard to clean up. That's actually not that big a deal. I've made messes like this in the past. That'll wipe right off. That's not really a huge issue. But yeah, I've actually been trying to cut down on sugar late, just to make it a little easier. Did you eat yet today? Yes, I actually did eat before the stream. It's just, you'd be surprised. Doing this for several hours, walking, talking, thinking, doing all this stuff. Actually, wow, that was a lot of focusing. But it actually takes a lot out of you. I finished the first stream yesterday, which I had done stream practices in the past. Like, I had done streams, like practice streams for 2-3 hours. But actually doing it for real and actually having a chat to read and respond to and try to do stuff, it's, actually, yes, Nashif, you got it. But yeah, no, it's actually takes a lot out of you. And even though I eat before I stream, just so I survive. I do usually end up eating at least a little bit afterwards because it's a lot. It feels like I ran a marathon. Actually, no, it doesn't feel like a marathon. I came up with this comparison yesterday. I think it's perfect. It literally feels like I took a 3-hour final, like 100%. Like that's what it feels like. Granted, the difference is when it's a final, you have that feeling, unless it's like an instantly graded final, you have that like crushing feel of despair because finals suck always. Like even if you did well, it sucks if you don't have the score, you just feel awful. But with these, it's like you finish the stream and like I look back at like my engagement numbers and like the people in my chat and like all of that stuff, and everything's been going fantastic. The support that I've been getting has been really, really great. So I'm really, really tired afterwards, but I look back and see the support I got, and I feel great. I feel like I took a final, got the score immediately because that COVID, and yeah, it just feels great. It feels like I knocked it out of the park. So yeah, kind of got away from that there. Okay, and I have caught up with chat. Good, good, good. All right. Damn it, I gotta stop checking that. I just self-control. Self-control. The more times I check it, the more the oven loses heat, and I just, God, I just want to take it out of the oven because then I get to cut it and eat it. I even bought I went to the Daiso and I got a pizza cutter, a new pizza cutter, just for this Stromboli. And I am so, so, so excited to break it in. But I gotta wait. Although I'm really excited to show all of you how it turns out. Like when I do that cross section, it's gonna be fantastic. I'm excited. It's gonna slice up real nice. I can already tell. Well, thank you. What the hell is that last thing? Oh, it's a ray gun. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Also, my ponytail is still staying. That's nice. What do y'all think about the ponytail? I personally, okay, I don't like it, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Feel free to comment what you think about the ponytail. I mean, normally I would just do hair everywhere, like whatever. Like that's what I prefer, but yeah, no, I don't. I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. I don't know if I like it or not. I know I don't hate it, which is better than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna check. I'm just gonna put my hand behind my back and pretend that I don't have a horrible son. Just concede the. No, I'm not conceding the bet, man. No, absolutely not. I can't. No, you know how he is. Yeah, so you know how he is. He would hold that over me forever. I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not. Because I really like the long hair. It's just, since I'm cooking, the ponytail's annoying. Rather than stringy, hairy Stromboli. That is true. Like I said, I don't hate it. Like, other than just, like, needing it for the stream, I don't hate it. Like, it's not terrible. At least shave the goatee. What's wrong with the goatee? I like the goatee. Goatee is class. I like the goatee. We're just doing Alex grooming tips in the stream right now. Weird. Oh well, it's fine. It is indeed fine. All right, I'm gonna let the Stromboli go for 2 more minutes. At 10 o'clock, we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna see what it looks like. Because I cannot wait a single additional second. I need to see it. I need to cut into it. Hopefully it's done. What's wrong with the goatee? Yeah, for real. I like it. I like the goatee. I like it. I've been working on this for a while. Well, not a while. It grows actually pretty fast, but I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. 9:58. Just want that Stromboli. How's everyone doing in the chat? I know a lot of you are in finals right now with everything. How are finals? How are finals for everyone? That was too much information, my guy. No, man, no. Please, for the love of everything holy and not, please don't. No, but how'd your guys' finals go? Everyone do okay? All go well? 3,000 channel points for a haircut. I'm not going to put it that low. If I do that, add at least another 0. If I'm going to do something like that, at least add another 0, and I'll consider it. Although, I am at a certain point when, as I continue to grow my audience and my reach and all that stuff, I am going to make channel points redeemable for actual in-universe, like, stuff that we can use sort of things. Like, eventually, when I do get big enough, I am going to do something like 10,000 channel points for a shirt or something. Eventually. I'm way, way far off of that now, and hopefully, well, we'll see. We'll see. If I can get to a point where I can justify that, awesome. Like, that's definitely something I would be interested in doing. Like, I do want to do merch. It's just way too early to even start that conversation because I'm still kind of figuring out my identity as a streamer. I'm still kind of seeing, okay, what kind of content do I want to do? Do I like this schedule? Like, what exactly do I want to show my audience? Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to pull the Stromboli. Let's do this. How do I want to show this? All right. Grab my oven mitts. Oh, man, that is absolutely God tier. All right, I'm going to hold this up. Oh, but I'm losing cheese. And I'm burning my hands. Ooh, ow, ow, ooh, ow. Hot. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wait for that to cool for just a sec so that when I cut it in, all the cheese won't just come streaming out. While I do that, though, while we wait, I'm going to put the breadsticks in the oven. And the breadsticks will go for about 10 minutes. Although, before I do that, I'm going to show you some, I'm going to brush this with some garlic butter. Just because I can. Actually, I'm going to brush half of them with garlic butter, because I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do to the crust that forms. I don't want to ruin all of them if the experiment fails. All right, so let me put this to the side, and let's put these in the oven. These should be real quick. Put that in the middle rack. Perfect. Okay. All good. Fantastica. All right, neat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Stromboli and I'm going to yuck it off of this tray and onto another thing that I can cut it on, and then I'm going to put the other Stromboli in the oven, and we'll see if we can get a cross section. All right. What am I going to put this on? All right. I had like a tray somewhere. Actually, that'll work. There we go. Let's take the stickers off from Goodwill. That'll work. That'll work. It's not quite the right size, but it'll work. And that's all I really care about right now. All right. Now, let me just... That was bad, Ryan. That was bad, and you should feel bad. All right, I'm just gonna... Actually, I'll switch to the stove focus, and that's probably a better way to show this epic transition. Actually, let me grab my sharp spatula. There we go. All right, that'll do. I'm breaking out the new wedge spatula that I got because that's gonna make this really easy. All right, where's my oven mitt? Oven mitt. There's my oven mitt. All right, let's get this thing off the tray and onto the plate so I can cut it. Oh, well, that works. All right, and then just move this. Ha. There we go. Hopefully I didn't scratch that too badly. I don't think I did. All right, so I'm just going to drain off that grease into my little grease trap and then throw the next Stromboli on there and throw that in the oven. When you're working with this much cheese, there's always going to be grease. And that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with grease at all. Anyone who tells you anything else is wrong. There's nothing wrong with grease. All right, now for the tricky bit. Just getting this big boy on the thing. Okay. All right, that thing's still hot, so let's get my other oven mitt and we'll put this back. All right, well, now it is the moment that I have yes, absolutely. Now for the moment that I have been waiting for. Just gonna take this and put that right here. Pizza burrito is better than calling it calzone. Just gonna go on record and say that. All right, so I'm just gonna use this and I'm just gonna cut down the center and then I'm gonna cut again. Burning my hands just a little bit for the sake of this. Ow, son of a bitch. Okay, well, that works. Okay, it's not holding together quite as good. That's true, but the breadsticks are still in the oven. They need some more time. Will you eat both I will eat some of one Stromboli. Anyway, y'all were wanting a cross-section. That's the somewhat junky cross-section, but it's delicious. It's probably not going to cut into the small, nice picture-perfect slices I was intending, just because of the cheese that I used. Yeah, that's true. I mean, granted, most of the reason why this cross-section wasn't the most beautiful cross-section in the world is because what you're really supposed to do is let this... Actually, yeah, I'm willing to get Obed in here to try it. Would you guys be interested in that? Would you guys be interested in seeing some Obed feedback? Because I can bring him in here. Very nifty? Okay. Hey, Obed. They want you to taste the Stromboli. We'll see if we can get him in here, folks. I'm going to try it. This is entirely of his free will. There is no guarantee that we're going to have him in here. Just gonna. Welcome. All right, so this is not holding together the way I would like, but
what is this?
This is Stromboli, and then let me get you some sauce, because sauce is important. Chat's right there. Where's my spoon? Yeah, hopefully they can hear you at least a little bit from my microphone, because I don't really have a... my phone is technically a microphone, I think. I don't know if it transmits sound, but we'll see. What's Nashif saying?
Just stupid things.
Ah, yes.
I will not dignify that by vocalizing it.
Obed does not approve. If he did not hear that response, he does not dignify it with a response.
I don't dignify Nashif with the response. That's the important part.
Ooh, the disrespect. My lord. Okay. Also, I know I'm going to have to clean our stove a lot.
I mean, I do this to it 3 times a week, so.
That is true. Okay. Get a little closer? All right. And then this is still hot, so maybe a fork. Or you could try to use your hands. I don't know.
What is
this is a Stromboli.
Glorified Hot Pocket. Got it.
That hurts me right down to my core.
All right.
I'm going to still stand close to you so you can actually hear it. Although you're not in frame, really. So there we go. All right. The Obed opinion, everyone. Eileen's in here.
Can't read that.
He doesn't speak. Arabic is one of the few languages he does not read.
God damn it.
All right, there we go. Survey says.
I need to try the sauce.
That's true. You do need to try the sauce. There is going to be some kick to the sauce because all of the weirdos in chat forced me to put a lot of spice in there.
That is not an issue for me. The issue is the fact that I stuck my fingers right in it, and it is at about 100 degrees Celsius.
Yes. It's not quite at 100 degrees Celsius. It's probably at like 85 degrees Celsius.
It's enough to be causing second-degree burns.
Yes.
That was stupid. I am stupid. What the hell does that mean saying?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Bismillah. What's the other one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Good thing it's not Friday.
Survey says.
That was good sauce.
All right. He declares it good sauce. We have succeeded, gentlemen. We are good.
What's Eileen saying?
I don't know what Eileen's saying. I don't speak Arabic either. I have no idea.
Well, I listened to Charlie. I stuck my hand in the sauce. Gotta make the people happy. What's that?
These are breadsticks, which are not browning as nearly as much as I want, which is somewhat concerning. I'm actually going to raise the temperature.
What are you going to do with the roasted garlic?
I already used basically most of it. The rest of it I'm probably going to save for a while and just like throw it in more butter later.
There's a significant amount of cayenne in this.
Yeah, I put a lot of cayenne in there because that's what the people wanted. How much for Oped's bathwater? Oh God. What is that?
That's Greek.
What is it? Oh, I thought it was
that-
Russian.
That's an R. That's an E. That's a T. That's an A. That's an R.
Oh, okay. All right, I got that. Get off your Jeff's account, bro. Oh, Lord. This chat is getting off the rails.
Who's in this? Charlie, Eileen.
Charlie, Eileen, Nashif, Cole's in and out. Yeah, I'm trying to convince some of the weirdos to come over and try some of that scotch I bought yesterday. But not having a lot of takers, which is weird. I like scotch. Well, anyway, I'm going to cut myself a piece and try it. I think I might just cut the stream there. The breadsticks ended up kind of a wash. They didn't really turn out the way they're supposed to. They're not browning at all. So I'm thinking I just screwed up the recipe somewhere. Actually, throw one in the chat if you're interested in letting me just cook the breadsticks until they look ready, which is going to be 2 or 3 times the amount of time they're supposed to cook for. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see that happen. Put a 2 if you don't care, because I can take it or leave it at this moment. 1, bro, 69. All right, I guess we're waiting.
So the score's 70.
Yes.
71s.
71s. Oh, God. Rivera, you're going to get timed out again, my guy.
Oh, you have like some kind of spam bot?
Yeah. Yeah, I have an auto moderator that's monitoring my chat and timing out people who do stuff like that. Oh, Lord.
He's right.
Oh, gosh. 3.99. Is that going to be a new meme for my channel, 3.99?
What is 3.99?
So, you know how I have trivia questions in my chat?
Sure, I do know.
So, I screwed up and activated the wrong trivia question. So, I was asking them what my favorite spice was, but the question was supposed to be the degree tilt of the Tower of Pisa, which is 3.99 degrees. So there were just a whole bunch of people spamming the right thing for the spice and nothing was happening, and I was freaking out. I'm like, wait, did everything just break?
So your favorite spice is 3.99?
Yes, my favorite spice is 3.99. That is in fact correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking weirdos. You know, I'm going to switch these 2 trays.
Keep typing in Russian?
Is it Russian or Arabic?
The joke is, it is clearly not Russian.
Ah. Whoosh. Right over my head. Where's my other... There it is. I'm going to switch these. I'm going to switch the top and the bottom trays. give the bottom one the greatest chance for success. Because it's just, they are not cooking at all. Like, they are just the most ugly, ugly fucking breadsticks you have ever seen. All right, good night, Rivera. I will see you tomorrow. And I will make sure to bring you some Stromboli. Stream Obed doing monkey bar pull-ups. Not tonight. Not tonight. Maybe another night.
It's on the OnlyFans.
It's on the OnlyFans. Yeah, subscribe to his OnlyFans if you want to see that.
Chief.
Yeah. He doesn't do those things for free anymore. He's hit the big time. All right, well, we're just sticking around for... We're sticking around to see if the breadsticks turn out. I'm going to flash freeze and FedEx down here. Maybe. Well, anyway, I'm going to say that for all the people who wanted to see the complete stream, this is basically the end of the stream. For those of you who want to stick around, I'm going to keep the chat open and the window going and all that stuff, just so that just so that the people who want to see if the breadsticks get anywhere even remotely good at some point, I can show you guys. But for those of you who want to head out because the stream is trending downward, well, anyway, I will just do my sign off so that when I cut this to a video tomorrow. Oh God, I'm not going to glorify that. I'll respond to that later. Well, anyway, for the sake of editing me tomorrow, for the sake of the person who's probably going to edit this into a video, thank you all for watching my first cooking stream. I really appreciate it. We're going to take this journey together to see where the stream ends up. Well, anyway, thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay you, and that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. And that's where editing me is going to cut that. But, yeah. Oh, man, I'm tired. Okay. You were never meant for... Oh, God. There is much wrong with that, Charlie. There's so much wrong with that. All right, I'm going to turn this down because this is... I want the sauce to continue to simmer because it'll continue to cook down. But, yeah. Hey, if anyone wants to come over and have Stromboli or scotch, please, by all means. Oh, my God, these breadsticks are not turning out. Ah, my eyes are burning. Ow. Okay. All right. Not bad at all. Homie stream tomorrow? Yes. Me and Partovi are going to be streaming Call of Duty 1, the campaign. We'll see how far we get in 3 hours. We're streaming from 7 to 10. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, me too. I haven't eaten anything yet. I haven't even gotten to try it yet. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I think I'll probably... I think I'll wait until the stream is cut to try that. Although, that is unfortunate. Bring some Boli over to the house? No, you come over here and you can have Stromboli here. You can have whatever you want. I just don't deliver. It's like the coma cake. If you wanted some coma cake, you could come over here and get. Oh, that sucks. Sorry, Scott. That is a bummer. That is a big oof. Oh, have you been debugging this whole time? Yikes. That is not fantastic. Although on the bright side, I didn't make quite as big of a mess of all this as I thought I was going to. Like, it's really not that bad. Like, I've got a few dishes. I'm going to have to wipe down the counters. The floor is a nightmare because I normally wear a shoes-off apartment, and I've been wearing shoes because it's the only way that... I have a high arch, so it's the only way that I can tolerate being on my feet for this long. So, yeah. I'm going to need to clean the floors. Also, there was a bunch of dishes in the sink, and I traded Obed doing all the dishes in return for me sweeping and cleaning the floors for the whole apartment. So I get to do that too. So that's going to be fun. All right, that's at 4:50. Anyway. That's just, it's not turning out at all. Actually, let me see what the texture is like. Because if the texture on the inside's fine, I'll forgive the fact that it doesn't have the gold trust. Time for a sign-off swig. Like I said, come over here, man. You'll see it. I'm not gonna do that on stream. One, because I don't drink like that on stream. That's just not what I do. I mean, you'll see me with whiskey every once in a while. Like, for example, the video that I'm cutting together with Partovi, I am imbibing some Good Luck whiskey. It did help me kick the crap out of him playing zombies. But not like that. Not like that. And plus, when you got the good stuff, you don't swig it. That's just, no. That is not the move. Like, if you've got some swill, yeah, swig it. Breadsticks are supposed to be skinny. Yeah, I mean, they're not browning the way they're supposed to. That's the thing. Because the insides are probably, like, cooked fine. It's the outsides don't have the color that you would associate with Olive Garden breadsticks. I kind of doubt their recipe now. Because, if you remember way at the beginning of the stream, I said copycat recipes are somewhat sometimes good, inconsistent, sometimes bad. This is one of the ones that didn't quite turn out. Yeah, no, these just sand to a rock. These, okay, they're not like hard, but they don't have the texture at all that they should have. Like, let me see if I can break one open without burning myself, and I'll show you guys. Oh, son of a whore. Yeah, if you look on the inside, they're just, the texture is all wrong. They're supposed to be light and fluffy on the inside, and they're just, like, very, very, like, hard bread. So, that's a fail. Well, anyway, that's all the stuff I got for you tonight. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to use them for. I don't know. I mean, I do make bread pudding quite a bit, and their texture isn't terrible for bread pudding. I might just let them get stale and make some bread pudding. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you get the chance, like, subscribe. There's another stream that's up there. Fair warning, the first 10 minutes are kind of rough because I was still trying to get my setup together, as usual. And I also have a pretty cool video up that I'd love for you guys to see. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and good night, guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, and of course, stay you. Good night. Let's just keep the stream right now.